All right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen and degenerates, welcome here to the session. My name's Rodrigo. We're going to be here with Nic Chahine, lead trader from the Options Inner Circle chat room. He just got off a meeting today. He has a Sunday meeting that he does with the members. A couple shout outs here. We got Andrew and Wong in the house. Ashley, good to see you. David, Dina Watson, Frank Putman, Janar Lepre. Pam, good to see you, Pam Kish. Tracy, Tyree. Okay, folks, we got a packed house and we have a great session. So we will be covering a lot of trade ideas, options education, setups, technicals, fundamentals, micro, macro, a lot of stuff. You just don't want to miss this session, okay? And a couple shout outs here to the folks. James, good to see you. Breeze. All right, folks. So if you're not familiar with Nic Chahine, he's been doing this thing with Benzinga for like 11 years. He's been trading options for like 20 plus years. Great teacher, great mentor, has helped me a lot. It looks like we do have Nic and Mr. Chahine in the house. Let's give him a proper welcome here. Let's go.
Mr.
Son, where'd you find this?
Mr. Chahine. Mr. Chahine to you.
What's going on, Mr. Chahine?
The usual, running around like crazy on Sunday morning, but it is fun. Today we did about 145 tickers, which is homework that I do for you, the members.
Right. And the Sunday session you have, I believe it's 10:30 Eastern till 1 p.m. around there. It's like 2 hours around there. You usually go through the tickers.
7 o'clock Pacific, so 10 Eastern, and we go usually 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Depends on how long it takes to run through the tickers. And today we hung around a little bit later to discuss a few extra tickers that came in last minute. But the idea is, the first step of success in investing or trading is to have a plan. You can't have a plan if you don't do homework. So if you let me steal the screen, I can walk you through all of that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this ripping here, Nic. I know you do have a packed session for the folks here, so welcome.
I do.
Oh, by the way,
let's see if we can have a good.
Before we do get into it, put a 1 in the chat if this is your first time watching any of these sessions. Put a 2 if you've already been here, and that way we'll get an idea of where to take the conversation here. Okay. And I don't know if you can see that, Nic, but the ones
I do. I'm looking at it.
We need everybody to participate because that way
we have return people and some new people. So return people, you're going to hear me say some pretty boring stuff because you've heard it before. And the new people, it's simple. Just open your mind to forget what Wall Street tries to teach you. I'm not from Wall Street. I started out in electrical engineering, believe it or not. And then I got into business and finance. And then I decided that this is much more fun. So rid yourself of what you know about Wall Street. Okay. And what you're looking at the screen right now, you should be seeing 2 or 3 charts. And I'll start with what happened today. So this morning I did this for our members. 142 tickers today, and they will have access to it. And it's alphabetical. And these are tickers that they requested. There's no way on the planet I'm looking into whatever the hell that thing is, but I will answer it for my people. So if somebody's interested, they can click on it and find out what the chart looks like and my comments. And it was a fun session today. Like, this is Rivian. They mistyped it, and I did the right ticker, but I didn't update it here. So this is live. It just updated to anybody that was there. Alphabetical. 3 videos go along with it. So even if you couldn't make it on Sunday morning because you have commitment, then you can watch the videos. And if, let's say you join, new people that join, they have access to static videos. So let's say you don't know anything about options. This video will get you started. This video is about put options, and about 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes about call options. Another 10 minutes about what is a spread. And if you can make your way down to a credit spread, that's where the money is made for me. And then other things come up like swing trades and breakouts and what's a cash settled index. That's pretty important. So if you already trade options, make sure you have a platform that allows you to trade SPX. You're pretty slow, David, you and me. So the SPX is a cash settled index, and it expires every day. And luckily now the SPY, starting last week, now the SPY expires every day, which means we have setups that pay 20% per day. And if somebody has a small account, they can put $400 to work and make 100 out of it a day. So not every time it works, but $400 risk to make 100 per day. That's pretty incredible opportunity. If you do 10 of these, it's 10 contracts versus one. Somebody with a bigger account, they can make $1,000 a day. I'm not promising everybody's going to be making 1,000, but it's an opportunity. I can guarantee you there are people in there making more than that, because on bad days they lose 10,000, but they're making like 30 or 20. So they're playing with big money, but the opportunity is the same. 20% reward, and you know at the end of the day if you got it or didn't. Okay, and we will trade this ticker to do that. And you can do the same with the SPY. I like the SPX because it is cash settled. There's no assignment. Okay, so here's the what happens on Sunday. We get together, we meet for 2.5 hours. I run through all the homework I did last night. This sheet, I don't have a secretary that goes in here and types it. I type all of this. How long would it take you to type this? Copy, paste, and then I run through it on Sunday. And then you can watch it on Sunday or Monday. And then on Sunday night, I do another video, which is about 5 to 8 minutes. And that's the strategy for the week. Last week's video was so on point. It was amazing. It's something I would do myself, because if I needed to trade the week, I need to be ready for the week. Where are the potential pitfalls? What happens on what day? And let's trade around the price action. And we did well with it, really well. This coming week, I don't know what I'm going to, I have an idea what I'm going to say, but I haven't done the video yet. I'll do it late. So 3 o'clock my time in California, the futures open. So we kind of get an idea as to where the markets lie. I hear, I don't watch the news, so I hear that Kramer was saying, buy. So hopefully we don't. We need to drop to fill this stupid gap we did last Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago. That was so stupid. Anyway, so we have a gap here and a gap above. Which one fills first? That's basically what's happening. Holiday week. This week in the US, it's a short week. People think that it should be positive. Maybe, maybe not. How about we see the price action unfold before we get, I don't want to guess where prices are. I'd like to have a thesis about it. So Greg's asking, where can members find the Sunday morning analysis? It should be in the chat rooms. I'm very certain I already posted it in all the chat rooms. So if you're already a member of the Inner Circle chat room, you go to the Inner Circle chat room. Speaking of, it looks like this. This is it. I went to dark mode. What did it go back to light mode? Anyway, this chat room was on fire last week. In fact, I couldn't keep up with them. And right now there are 200 users almost. Yesterday, Friday, I think there were 460. So a lot of back and forth. I'm missing a lot, but I have helpers in there. Like this person right there is above and beyond. I'm serious. I've got him a gift. That's how bad I felt, because he does so much for me and he's helping out. Benzing, are you listening? He's helping out a lot. Anyway, so he makes this work because him and other people, like let's say this person comes in with a question and I didn't answer it, they jump in and answer it if they know it. So it's a hopping place. You're asking, where is it? It's in here. You're saying, oh, it scrolled off the page, I can't see it. Then I'll tell you, I have a spot right there, Nic's important messages. It's right there, Sunday charts. 3 videos. So you go in there, you get them. Does that answer you? And there's also a link to that spreadsheet. All right, back to be on point. So Sunday night, I do the forecast for the week. Like, if this happens, I do that. If this happens, I do that. So I'm ready. I don't wing it. Everything is on point. Okay, so then Monday comes around. Before the market opens, you will get in the live room, in the chat room, you will get a write-up. It's usually short, 2-3 sentences. I see this, I see that, if this happens. And then here's what I'm doing today. I'll tell you my plan of action. I'm looking to book profits. I'm looking to buy dips. I'm looking to close losers that were losers that are getting better now. I'm looking to buy protection. I tell you 3 things. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing this, this, and this. And it's different every day. Depends on the price action. So That is the roadmap for today. And then I share 5 charts, the indices, ETFs and the indices, the futures contracts as well. And then I share a chart if there are earnings, like who's reporting earnings and things like that. That's before the market opens. And most importantly, and here's the exciting part, I share the live room. What is that? You said you have a chat room. Yes, this is a chat room. It's static. It's open all day, any day. You pop in, you want to chat, direct message me, you can. Like somebody said, can I have a private message with you, private conversation with you? And I didn't answer because I didn't see it. Somebody jumped in. Yes, they posted 2 pictures, pointed to where they can reach out and hit me direct message. So I haven't seen him direct message me. So I'll scroll back after we're done here and make sure that he got his answer, his question answered. So the live room, what is that? Oh my gosh, that's where all the magic happens. So like Rodrigo said, I've been with Benzinga for a long time, more than a decade. And I keep adding to the offering. But before I overwhelm you what happens every day fast, let me assure you that if you cannot be in a live room every day, all day, or part of the day, this service is definitely for you. All the stuff I'm going to mention after this is gravy that makes thousands per day. But that's not what the service was all about. The service was about providing education to do trade ideas, and I will share mine, that will work for somebody that has a life and that cannot be here, that wants to credit spread, create income basically out of the easy way to create income out of a range. For example, if Nike fell on earnings, I look into Nike, I look at the levels, I look at the earnings report, and I say, they're panicking for nothing. Let's try to catch this falling knife and let's leave room for error. I write it up and I send it where? I post it in the chat room, the static slow poke chat room. In there, you go in there and you say, oh, okay, once a day after you come home from work or during lunch, you say, okay, so I see what he's trying to do here. I kind of don't like this trade. I skip it. And then I see another trade and I take it. So I can tell you we caught the knife, the proverbial falling knife in all of the good companies that fell, except Facebook, Meta, because I had some concerns. And they all worked out. We didn't even look twice. I'll give you the most recent example, Target. So I'm not a big fan of Target, but then I see this happen and I read the reason why it happened. I was like, okay, let's go along. I opened the trade, and by the end of the day, I had already gotten 20% of the maximum gains. And the next day I had already gotten, or the day after that, more than half, 50% of the maximum gains. So now there are 35 days on the clock or something like that. And I've already made more than half the money I can make out of it. So I can close it now and forget about it. But that's the type of trade where you did not need to be active. All you need to do is just read my post once a day and you got yourself a trade. And I educate you on the trade itself. So it's about education. But so you got that? The service is me sharing education and real life trades that you can learn with limited risk, high degree of certainty, 10 to 15 to 20% yield on the risk, and time. Like you don't need to be in there. It doesn't need babysitting. This trade did not need babysitting. So this idea went a step further last year when I decided to say, okay, let's up the ante, because people copied me. Some people started doing these chat rooms. They don't demand a lot of commitment. But here's the one that does demand commitment. I give you, if you join the Inner Circle room, I dare anybody else out there to offer that, including all the people on Benzinga. I give you at least 9 hours of my day. What? Every day, you and me will be hanging out in a live room, not a chat room, in a live trading room with 300. Last week, we had 370 people. It's usually around 300. All day, every day, we have a blast and we make money while we're at it. And we learn so much. What does that look like? It's me sharing my screens like you're seeing here, only 3 other tabs with a mic. I don't share my picture. but I'm in there before the market opens, and I'm in there until the market closes every day. So if you want to ask a question that's not fast and you pop in, I will still answer it. What does that mean? Let's say you have a job and you cannot be in the live room, and you saw one of my write-ups about Target and you had a quick question about it. You pop into the live room and you ask me, I answer it like this. You say, okay, bye, and you're gone. So let's assume you just wanted to reach me live every day. I'm somewhere where you can actually reach me, and I will have to answer you with voice immediately. I mean, who does that? Nic does that. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of commitment. I have a case of Bang energy drinks here in case you don't know what that is. They're excellent. And so I'm up for the task so far, and I'll continue on for as long as I can. So I use my platform, my time, to serve you and give you as many options as to reaching me. So basically, I'm with you live every day, all day. I'm with you. You have a way to reach me 24/7 in the chat room, which is not the live room. But the live room is where the magic happens. Let me show you some of the magic from Friday, not last week, Friday, 11/18. Let's see here. Okay, this is the best one ever, in case you can't see it. It says, learned a lot today, exclamation points, thanks. That was from, I don't know how to pronounce that. Somebody new, I can tell you that. Learned a lot today. That's the goal. This was live. These are all the comments in there. 224, so that was after the market closed and I was hanging around. Yeah, the market had just closed. Okay. This is a chat from also yesterday. Okay, so let's see what's that all about. Nicole is super good, and she's working on getting better. She's had some challenges in the past. So 5 profitable trading days in a row, and that is a struggle because she was doing things wrong, and we worked on it, and then she flipped. This was a message from her. I didn't solicit that message. Boom, and that would be nice. And also, let's see here. Nic, thanks so much today. Did 4 trades on the back of my drawings, all profitable. Leo. You're welcome, Leo. Alvaro. Wow. Thanks, Nic. I'm in the green again. And this is not me soliciting that. Here we had 280 people at the close of day. Let's see here. The live room was a blast. Thanks, Ray. 100% on SPX IC. Okay, IC is Iron Condor. I'll explain to you what an Iron Condor is. It's super cool. 100%, it means he took an Iron Condor in the morning from me or on his own based on my, and then it paid out 100%, even though there was a major dump in the last 15 minutes. Don't worry about it. So how do we make so much money? This guy is super hilarious and super fast, and he shares every trade. He does maybe 10 trades a day, and he shares all of them. Babu, I remember Babu. Listen to this. Nic placed Iron Condor close with profit. I think private message. Oh, PM. Okay. The SPX contract for Friday had 2 versions, AM and PM. He said he took a PM Iron Condor from the day before. First Iron Condor with real money. Boom. So he made 20%, 25% on that trade, 20 to 25% on that trade. This was Mary, I'm pretty sure. No, James, never mind. Let's see. This was also yesterday. You see that? Yesterday. Let me see here. What happened? Oh, I remember this. So check out. Yesterday. No, Friday. Sorry, Friday. It was, some days you can't do anything wrong with the charts. I'm like drawing like Picasso. I'm drawing arrows and the charts are going where I'm drawing arrows. So quietly, Tom was taking trades. Thank you for the setup. I was like, what setup? I didn't say anything, but he had acted upon my arrows and he nailed it. See? So that was cool. I was happy with that. So Tom coined on Friday based on my drawings, and you can see the drawings. I did a dip. You can hardly see it. I did a dip and the stock fell into. Okay, so I will teach you that today. If you want to level up your game, you always try to catch a breakout inside the day and you end up losing. That is a solution to it. So somebody wanted to catch the rally. I said, you should buy the dip against the prior support in order to get the rally. Then you're long on the way down. You open a ticket and you offer less for that call you want to buy. And as price starts falling, the call gets cheaper and cheaper, and then your order fills, and now you're long. And it was exactly where I had drawn the arrow. And it can be SPY, IWM, whatever ticker you want. What is this one here? Let's see. Making them a Roy character. So up 38%. And they're in, and that trade I didn't do. I said, I know you guys are working on something in there. I missed it, but good for you. It was his setup. They were up 38%. They crushed it. They crushed it. And I had nothing to do with it. What about this one? Is that the same day? Also the same day. Wow, busy day. Thanks for the SPY call suggestion. I didn't take it, but I'm learning. We're back to the first one. Learning a lot. Is that the same person? No, that's Terry. Thanks, Terry. So what am I saying? School is open all day is what I'm saying. And real life trading in between at different speeds, slow, medium, fast. And recourse that is static, which is the chat room, completely different than the live room. All this stuff here, not in here, in the live room. Okay, so we do good work at different speeds. If you're a fast trader, we got you. You're going to love it. You're going to freaking love it. I guarantee it. If you're a slow trader, you're going to have a recourse you don't have anywhere else. Live coverage. Okay, Jorge, you keep saying the same thing. Are you asking a question? I don't know. So you're saying you use Robinhood to get our spreads accomplished?
George is he's a member of the chat room.
Yeah. So what he's saying, but I want to caution you about that. There's no SPX on Robinhood. I think Jorge can probably attest to that. So you'll have to do SPY or stocks. So I don't have anything against Robinhood. The only bummer is that you don't have SPX.
Right, Nick, and a couple folks are asking. You did post already the Sunday session, and maybe you can explain a little bit for the new folks what that is.
Sure. So every Sunday morning, check that. On Friday evenings, when the day is done, I post a form in here. I post a form saying, "Tell me what tickers you would like me to do homework on." And then Saturday, I'll spend half my day doing homework. It does take hours, and I compile them in a table like this, and I make the table available via Google Sheets. Look, a whole bunch of people are logged in already, and it's clickable, and it's live. So Sunday morning, I also go a step above it, and I actually will meet live with whoever wants to be there. This morning, I had almost 80 people. And for 2 hours, I think it took 2 hours and 10 minutes, we went through all of them. In fact, the list is right here. Yep, 1120B. That's the list. And we went through them one by one. So they not only have the content, they also got it live with different timeframes than just the content. It was a good discussion. And that's every Sunday morning. And for those who missed it, they can see it because I recorded it and I shared the recording already. It's in there. Look, video 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. 3 different videos. It's a lot of work. That's the homework you absolutely need to do. If you're lazy, you don't want to do it, I'll do it for you. If you want to do it and see how well you do against mine, let's do it together. So that's Sunday morning. Sunday night, I will do another video that strategizes the week. Hi, Rock. Tyrone. Hey. I know you. So the service rocks. The people in my group, I don't know how lucky I got to have this many people and no disruptions. Can you imagine trying to corral 350 excited traders live? It's a tough task unless the group is awesome. And the group is awesome. We have jokesters, we have traders of different speeds. I showed you a couple of pictures here. I saw names, and I'll show you. Like this guy fast trades, his name is James. He's good enough to be on his own. He loves this room because even him, he's humble enough to take my comments. He's a better trader than me. He can get in and out faster than me. I'm really good with lines. So he takes my comments, adds them to his trades, and he's gotten better because of that. And he shares the trades. So other people are making money off of him, and it works. And then he has his competition, which they go back and forth and what do you call that? Like joke with each other. Ryan, he's here somewhere. I saw his name, Ryan Harris. There you go. I think it's Ryan Harris or Ryan. Anyway, him and Ryan go back and forth because they have different speeds. They usually trade the same style, but Ryan takes longer trades. Like if I wanted to short IWM, I don't want to short it just for today. I want to short it for longer term. So I buy a put out in time. That's what Ryan does. James is like in and out. So he's today's trades. And they keep at each other. And at one point, Friday, they were on opposite sides of one trade. That's how it goes. I mean, there are two traders for every trade. Who is the better trader? Fast Trades is faster than me. He can get in and out faster than me. I would mess things up. So he's better at exiting and entering fast trades, not me. What is my win rate? That's the wrong question to ask, Frederick. But you can. It's all posted. It's all on Benzinga. Once you take the service, you'll see them all there. There's a big wall of wins, loss, wins, loss. So it's a pretty good report. I have to tell you this. And if you're in it for the trade alert, you're missing out on the best scenario. If you're the guy or girl that like to buy and hope, you're doing it wrong. I prefer selling. And hopefully I can teach you how to do that and at least buy a spread. So the idea is for anybody in my lower group that is not in the inner circle, if you're here, please graduate out of this starter package, which is not very good because you get one trade every 2 weeks and it's only buying something, which is not what I do in life. So get up out of there. I promise you that you will not get a better deal as far as education per dollar over a course of the year. You missed the whole 5 days. That's okay. We have another fresh 4 days coming up for you. Anything reads to me. I can't see the charts and read how many. Sorry about that, Breeze.
Yeah. No, well, definitely the education is the big thing. It's not just, trading. It's more also the learning part of it, especially when people are new, most people.
Breeze, I don't know if I can reach out to you. You should reach out to Benzinga and see if they can do something on that. I don't know how I can help with that. What's the number one advice I can? Oh, okay, Carlos. What? Are you a plant? Okay, so Carlos, if you just joined, you come in here and you go check out my videos to get started. If you don't know anything about options, start with this video. Start with this video. Another Spanish speaking person. I love it. JA. So this is the start. Listen to it. Make sure every word makes sense. If it does, go to the calls. If it doesn't, come back to Nick and ask him, I watched your video on minute so-and-so. I don't know what you meant. Can you explain it? And that's how we'll take it. Hey, Stefki. So Steven just joined recently and he bugged the hell out of me with the questions. But they were, because I can almost feel him thinking, like asking the questions that are like somewhat frustrating, but they played out excellent. And I think we got to a point where like, okay, now we've got tangible results. And I believe they're on board. Thank you for being in the live room. What are you doing here? Go enjoy your Sunday. I appreciate you supporting me in here, but go enjoy your Sunday. What is a double calendar? Double calendar? You're going to have to tell me what that trade is. Rodrigo. Pam. Rodrigo, you got work. How do you get the videos? The videos I just did Sunday, I post them in the chat room. They're right there sitting, waiting for you to get them. They're in my chat room. I'll show you exactly. If you're a member of the Inner Circle chat, there is an Inner Circle chat where everybody posts. And then there is Nick's important messages where nobody posts but me. So right there. How can I sell without buying? How can you sell without buying? Well, you sell a spread. You sell puts. You sell a credit put spread. You sell a credit call spread. For example, I'll come up with an example. Gilberto, ask me again later if I forget, but I will get you how can I sell without buying. I'll show you. So far, I'm talking out in the air. If you don't know options, I'm going to do, actually, let's jump into it right now. How about that? That's a good question. So Gilberto is asking a good question. So this is a trading platform from E-Trade. It's my practice account. I'm not recommending it. It's full of bugs. I am not recommending it. No, I can't post it here. Can I post a link to a video one should start with? Not in here. Ask me in the chat room. I will definitely post it. Okay, so here's the idea. So let me see here. December, Apple. Okay. Let's say this is Apple. So if you're new to options, let me just orient you a little bit. If you already have some options experience, this might be more boring, but hey, give us a minute. So this is an options chain. And what are options? They're a bunch of contracts. And contracts have buyers and sellers. It's a bunch of contracts of what? Doesn't matter. Hold on. Buyers and sellers. So every contract has terms. Let's start with a few basic terms. This one is all about Apple. So everything here is regarding the what Apple. So it's the what. And then it is the quantity. How many? 100. What does that mean? Every contract on this page represents 100 shares of Apple. Okay. And then how long is the contract for? This particular one has 26 days. It expires on December 16th, Friday. So we have very basic parameters so far. Apple, 100 shares and 26 days on the clock. All right. So everybody in this world is trying to invest, trying to guess where will Apple be in a month. Okay. So who cares? I'm trying to make money off of people who are wrong as to where Apple will be. So I can confidently say Apple should not be here in a month and Apple should not be here in a month. It's easier for me to have conviction in those two statements than it is Apple will be here in a month. Okay. So if that's the case, then I will make money off of this guy and that guy. I will sell losing lottery ticket here, hopefully, and sell a losing lottery ticket here. Doing both is an iron condor. So I basically need Apple to stay inside this giant box in 26 days, and I win. I don't need a rally. I don't need a drop. I don't need anything. I just need time to tick for it to just tick tock, 26 days go off the clock, and I win. That's how I can sell without owning. I can sell a put spread. Let me rephrase it. Okay. Let's say I wanted to buy Apple and I don't want to pay $150 per share. That's $150 times 100. That's a pile of money out of my pocket. And I'm afraid it's going to drop $15. What is that, 10%? So how about this? How about I tell somebody out there, hey, Bob, you have Apple shares. Would you sell them to me at 135? I'm guaranteed buyer at the 135. Bob thinks, holy crap, this person is going to guarantee me at 135. Yeah, I'll buy that insurance policy. So Bob will pay me $100 today for me to promise him that I will buy his shares at 135. Folks, that means I just sold this put to Bob. So if I'm a person who is able and willing, did you hear that part? I am able and willing to own shares at 135, regardless of the environment. I can collect $100 here for maybe buying Apple shares at 135. So what does that mean? Let's say Apple falls to 134. Everybody's panicking. A person that bought the shares instead of doing what I did, let's say my brother bought shares at the same time I did this. I collected $100 to open my trade. Didn't spend any money. I just collected $100 and I promised somebody something. My brother spent $150 times 100. That's a pile of cash. And then stock price falls to 134. My brother lost this much money. I haven't lost anything. Only thing is I will wake up maybe one day owning shares at 135 and I'm down $1, but I collected $1, so I broke even. So by the time I break even, my brother is already down 10%. I'm doing air math. So this is called selling a put. I don't own anything. I want to own something, so I sell a put. I sell somebody insurance. Now, please, this is not a trade recommendation. If you go out and you sell a put in Apple and you don't know anything else, you're making a massive mistake that could really cost you some money. Okay, so I have years of experience and I know what I'm doing. An alternative method would be to sell a put spread, but that's a different conversation. But somebody asked, how can I sell when I don't own? I'm selling in order to own. I'm selling a put. I'm basically selling somebody an insurance policy at Apple at 135. Why wouldn't I do it here? Because now Apple, I mean, there's the odds of this happening is 12 to 15%. The odds of this happening is 30%. So my insurance, basically, if I sell this versus that, I'm selling insurance to a better driver that is less likely to have an accident versus, yeah, this premium is going to be more money into my pocket. I'm collecting $270, not $100. However, this is a reckless driver. That's like a 21-year-old boy who just got his license or something. So 21, 17. So anyway, that is the scenario of how can I sell when I don't own something. Because I want to buy Apple shares, I can sell an Apple put to own shares. And this concept translates into anything. It could be Tesla. I wouldn't do this in crap stocks. Okay. The premise is I am able to buy those shares if I'm assigned, and I want to buy those shares if I'm assigned. I wouldn't do this in obscure tickers. No, only in good tickers. So what we do is in the SPX, we do an iron condor. Another visual to the iron condor. These are active trades inside one day. For example, on Monday, the market will open. Let's say the market opens here, right there where it is. This is, again, not a trade recommendation for Monday. Okay. This here is called the credit put spread. Okay. I can take that and collect some money. And then I can do the opposite on the credit call spread side, and I will collect some money. In total, I collect $2. Actually, this, I want it a little bit higher. I would collect the $2. I can scoot this up. And what happens on Monday? If I do one contract, I collect $200. And if price ends up in between these two, I make $200. I usually collect only 100, so I go lower. So this spread will be much lower below the picture here. This spread will be much higher above the picture there. And so I'd have a giant eye of needle. I had that done for yesterday, Friday at 1. I had it done for the day before that at 1, and the day before that at 1, and the day before that at 1. And it just repeats itself. And every once in a while, you get blown out. By that, I mean the price goes beyond the limit. So what do? You have to decide before you get blown out to say, you know what, I lost a little bit of money. Let's just close it and just live to fight another day. Because these statistically will win 9 times out of 10. The tricky part is not to let that extra one time blow you out. If you let the extra one time go to maximum loss, it sets you back 4 or 5 days, maybe 6. So these are trades that die the same day. But the concept can be 2 days long, 3 days long, 4 days long. You just expand the width of that iron condor and make 20%. My goal is to make 18 to 20%. If I make 25, that's awesome, but that's not my goal. Okay. And these are boring, repetitive, that don't need anything except you just babysitting it a little bit and making sure that priority number 1, do not take maximum loss. And we have many ways of managing that. Holding Apple puts too long. Let's see here.
Hey, Nick, really quick here, man. Sorry, I'm getting flooded with questions here about a live room. Also, there's a lot of great comments from actual members there in the chat if you guys want to look at that. But we got to go some of these questions and then we'll get back here into the session, Nick. So does Nic Chahine go over the member trade ideas? Yes, this is regular. It happens every day. And, you know, we've kind of gone over that a little bit today. Are the sessions on Sundays recorded? Yes, they are recorded. We mentioned that earlier. They're posted in the chat room. So the Sunday sessions are included with the deal today. What is the chat room schedule? So the static chat room is open 24/7. We have people from all over the world. Now, the live session, the live stream, that is where Nic is Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Eastern, and then Sundays, additionally, from 10:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's the schedule where you can catch Nic live. Let's see. Price at renewal will be the same as today with the discount, everything applied. It's not going to change. Does Nic provide options education? Yes, Nic is Mr. Education, you could say. Let's see. Do you teach strategies from beginners from A to Z? Absolutely. Absolutely. And the last question here we have, Nic, I'll let you take this one. How much capital is required to do trades in the chat room with you?
A big fat zero. Zero. If you're new and you come to me and you're risking real money, I would kick you out. No, I wouldn't. But I would strongly suggest you don't. Practice with fake money, paper trades. And then after that, let's say I had a $2,000 account and I want to do daily SPX trades. They only require $400 worth of margin. So if I do an iron condor where I collect $1 in total, I'm only risking $4. So $100, that's the potential income. I'm risking 400. That's 25% every day. It's a small enough amount that any account can handle it. Now, there are some tricky parts as to how active I can be with a small account. So I have to absolutely tell you, doing this with a larger account is so much easier, but it is not restrictive to where you cannot do it in a smaller account. In fact, I do have a smaller account that I use just to make sure that my trades are set up and can be taken by smaller accounts. Whenever I share a spread, I try to share it with a small width. For example, if I share a credit put spread, bull put spread, and I make it $1 wide, people say, why are you only making it $1 wide? Because I want to make sure that somebody reading it that has a $2,000 account, they can take it. You like bigger, then just widen it. It will have the same odds of success, just more money at risk and more opportunity to make money, but it's not appropriate for a smaller account. So if you have a bigger account, you can mirror my trade and make it more aggressive size-wise. Oh, which brings me to the point about risk. Education. All right, here we go. Make notes. Make notes. I'll wait. Bring out a piece of paper. You need to write this down. I want you from here on out to never take another trade. Yes, never, ever in your entire life. From this minute on, if on Monday you take a trade without doing what I'm saying, you're still playing like an amateur. Okay? Don't do that. Okay. Are you ready? The first thing you do when you take another trade, you need an absolute reason. So write this acronym down. It's no trigger, no trade. No thesis, no trade. If you don't have a reason, why am I taking this trade? You shouldn't take that trade. You should not take that trade. So the idea is to have purpose when you put risk. And you saying, oh, I thought it was going to go up. That's BS. I thought it was going to go up. Why did you think it was going to go up? For a reason. Make sure you have a reason. That's one. Second thing you should never do. You shouldn't take a trade without, which is set an exit strategy. When you put money at risk, say, if I lose X, I'm out. If the chart loses the level, I'm out. If I make 10, 15%, I'm booking my profit. Set an exit strategy for bad and for good. Okay, so those are must, please. All right, so somebody's challenging me on something. Let me see here. Nic, can I use last week's trade that was set up on RCL, credit put spread on as example? It was not a credit put spread on RCL. It was the opposite. So last week, I shorted RCL by buying a simple put. I disclosed it as it was at best medium conviction because I'm trying to learn new tricks, and one of which is a wolf wave. And it kind of told me that there might be some downside in RCL. So I said, okay, I'll take a bearish position, mild bearish position, right? And then RCL popped right after I took my trade. So immediately the trade went red, really red, right? So that was the trade setup. It went really red. And then the day after that, or 2 days after that, somebody, one of a CCL or one of them came out in something, it fell 10%. So the next 2 days, RCL went back to green. So I sent out a note and I said, If you hated this trade the day after I said to take it, get out now. You can get out for slight greens. I think it was up 9 or 11% at one point, or flattish. So I said, I'm leaving mine on because I want to teach myself the consequences of making a bet on the wolf wave. And I was still greenish, and I was leaving it on in spite of my rule. My rule is that if I have a trade go against me and then out of the blue it gets fixed, I take the advantage and get out. So this is my comment on that RCL trade.
Yeah, for all those folks that are asking where to join, we're posting the link in the chat on the Zoom and the YouTube side, just so you know that is where the link is posted to join.
Yeah, cool. So do I ever buy? I just told you I just bought puts for RCL the other day. So I do buy things. I bought shares in Bito. I sold puts in Bito, which made us a lot of money. Yes, we made money in crypto, even though crypto was falling out of control, because that's what we do. We try to see where there's panic. Made money. I bought shares in SoFi, made good money in that. And now I'm trying to rebuy shares in SoFi because I booked them. I bought shares in Palantir, made money, then it dropped, but it's a 20% share of a long-term investment, so I didn't sell it. What I did do 2 times, maybe 3 times, I did share selling puts and put spreads in Palantir, which played out 100% win. So I'm comfortably long Palantir, 20 to 25% share of my maximum allotment, and they're greenish. So I'm sitting on them. So you heard me say a couple of times now, I'm going to teach you another thing that you should never do. You heard me share a couple of times about percent of an allotment. Okay, so don't do this ever again. Don't do this ever again. Thanks, David. So when you take risk, make sure you know, let me ask you guys, those who have heard my answer, don't say anything, don't cheat. Those who have not heard my answer about this, help me. If you were teaching this class and you would say, explain risk. Can you define risk for me? I'm going to wait a few minutes and then I'll give you my definition. It will help you with your trades. It will help you do better with your trades. I'll wait a little bit. There might be a delay. Don't be shy. There's no bad answer. Maximum you're willing to lose. Excellent, Chris. That is correct, but it's not complete. Correct. So everybody, Jean-Francois knows it. Diana. There you go. Diana's saying the same thing. Maximum amount you're willing to lose. Right. Okay, that's one part. Manage your risk. But what are you managing, Joel? That's what I'm getting to. Dreams. 1 to 3. So amount. Risk is what you want happen, but still do it. Blowing out your account. No, Nina, no. Managing the loss. Size. So you guys are saying the same thing and you're missing the point. You guys are missing from the point. I like Shem. I like your answer, but it's still not. Okay, let me save you. Let me save you. That's great. You're all on the same track. Risk-reward ratio, that is all correct. But you're missing the most important part. That's not the part you manage, folks. That is not. That's the part you make a decision on and move on. Okay, so here's risk. How I do. No. Risk. 2 pieces. Listen. How much? Everybody says how much? How much? The maximum loss. Manage your maximum loss. How much? Right? Percent of your account. How much? Yes, you are all correct. Everybody got this part wrong. The one part you manage, nobody mentioned. Nobody mentioned the one. What do you manage? You manage your odds of success. That's the part you manage. The odds of success. So this part, you say, I'm going to lose maximum 1,000. I'm okay. I'll take the trade. That part you don't manage. That part you make a decision. How much money am I going to, the probabilities, Dave, how much money am I willing to lose? You make the decision and you move on. That is the part you manage. I'll give you an example. When I take a trade, I have a few things in my head. I think I'm going to win. I think I have an edge on my opponent. What opponent? If I sell something, if I buy something, there is another person on the other end or a machine that is doing the opposite, that thinks I'm an idiot. I think they're making a mistake. They think I'm making a mistake. That's why there's a deal. There's the other side of the deal. So I decide, okay, I'm going to lose $1,000 on this one. And I make that decision and I don't manage that. I'm done. And that's my bet. And I go into the trade with an idea of what are my odds? And then if my odds get better, I'm comfortable. If my odds drop and get below a certain level that I consider acceptable, I should get out. That is the part I manage, not this one. Okay. So this is the odds of success. Luckily, options allow us that, give us that number. I don't have to guess. So in this scenario, this number right there, the delta, it's a column that's available in every options chain. The delta gives me the odds of success. So I can roughly say, if I'm the seller of this put, I have a 20% chance of losing. And if I'm a seller of this put, I have about a 20% chance of I have a 20% chance of losing. So if I do this iron condor, it means I have about an 80% chance of success on either side of this trade. So that's how I can mentally gauge myself. So how do I manage? Let's say price starts falling and it gets to here. That delta will explode up to 40. And then now my odds are a coin flip. So you say to yourself, you're okay with a coin flip. I'm not. So this is where the do I close it, do I not close it comes in. So I'm managing my odds of success. Luckily in options, it's right there. I can pick it up off of the platform. It's the delta. Let me rephrase it in simpler terms. Okay, so this is why people need to learn options, to even if they don't trade options. So I mentioned my brother. He's a real person. He's a surgeon. He doesn't know anything about investing. He does have a lot of stock, but he doesn't trade. So he just buys good companies for the long term. Let's say he says, okay, I'm buying Apple because I think it's going to 190 by February of next year. Okay. Yeah, he does not. So I would tell him, well, let me tell you what the market makers think of that. I'll go to February, 89 days on the clock. Apple. This side, they're calls. This side, they're puts. And if I look at the 190 and I go over here and look at the delta it has, is this a big number or is it a small number? It's really small, 0.07. 0.07, so less than 10% chance. So according to this platform, which the prices are set by market makers, those who cheat and make the market, it's the house, the casino. They're telling me there's literally less a single digit chance of success. So I would tell my brother, hey, based on the market makers, I think you're overly optimistic about Apple for the next 2 or 3 months, based on them. So if it was me, I would want to buy a call down here in this zone, not up here, because as time ticks, this number, the delta, starts dropping, and if the move doesn't come. So let's say Apple drops and this delta drops to 0.19, then I'll say to myself, okay, I still have $500 on the trade. Okay, I still think it could work out, but my odds of working out have dropped below 20%. I'm uncomfortable. Let me save the money. I'm managing my risk odds. Let me save my money and redeploy it somewhere with a better delta. So let me explain that part. If I have an investment, I get this question all the time. Nick, I'm holding a call. It's down 50%. What do I do? I'll say, what is the call? Let's say somebody says it was the 180 call. Okay. So I'll come here and I'll say, literally, this platform is telling you these soldiers are injured and they're probably going to bleed and die. So save them. So my advice would be, if I had $500 left in this trade, I would close it. Take that $500 and buy this, because this is also $500, a little bit less, but this has much better odds of success than this one. I'm not increasing the risk. I did not manage the risk. The risk size we set from the beginning. I'm managing the odds of that to come to fruition. So I'm just improving my odds from here to here without increasing my risk? Can I look at Meta? Michelle wants to jump in and start looking at Meta and stuff. Let's do it. Michelle, just because you asked nicely. Did you ask nicely? No, you didn't. But that's okay. Let's jump in and do Meta. Anybody has anything against it? Okay, so I was a proponent of Meta in the long term. And then this this past earnings report scared me. So this is a growth company and they shrunk in sales. That is a warning sign for me. So I said, that's a knife I'm not going to catch. I said for a trade, it can happen, but I'm going to steer away from it. Until last week. Last week, I read a blurb, but I've read it before, so I don't know how much to believe it. So we're talking fundamentals now. So I read that their WhatsApp, their app has billions of users worldwide, and it's not monetized. So they read that the monetization of WhatsApp may happen sooner rather than later. I don't know if it was hot air or somebody saying it or the company said it. If that's the case, then okay, that's extra sales they can bring in. I'm happy with that. So fundamentally, it's not a disaster, but it could be changing from a growth company to a mature company, and I'm not sure I like it yet. But technically, look at this problem area now. So if they can take out this zone, they can get to here. So if somebody got long Meta, I'm good for that. But you should, if you're looking to get long, you should get long on a dip into 102, 108, something like that. Let's zoom in and see if we can get more granular of that. All I'm doing is changing the time frame. Okay, so a breakout from here. So this is support 1, and I don't like these. It's just a weak. So I would get long Meta in here. If this happens like this next week, I would get long in here somehow. I would sell a put spread down here. And then if it does this, they will have time to come back and fight with this one, come back and fight with that one. And if they take this out, they get to here. Okay, so this is the case of BDBR. You buy the dip if it comes, or you buy the breakout, buy the rip from here. You either buy the rip or buy the dip if it comes. Dip coming pre-holidays. That's not what I said. I said, if this will happen, I do that. If that will happen, I do this. There's the difference. Okay, so David is trying to guess which way it's going to go. For that, make a guess. If you think it's going to dip into the holiday, short it somehow. If you think it's going to rally into the holidays, get long it. Or wait for more clues in order so you're not guessing. So what are the clues? Right now, it's got sellers and buyers. If these buyers blink, they go down to here. Now I'm ready to risk some money on it because that was my plan. I want to see them dip into support. I will get long into support. So now I have a thesis. Remember NTNT? Here, I don't have a thesis. So if it dips, I'm long to see if I can do that. This way, I don't even need a breakout. I'm already green here. Or you can wait for the breakout and try to chase it. I prefer buying the dip into support. So whichever one you do, what do you need to put? You need to do an exit strategy. So if you buy calls here or buy puts here to get long or short, you should say, okay, I'm risking $1,000, whatever it is, that number is to you. I'm willing to lose 20% of it. This again is a personal number to you. I'm just throwing out example. So you need an exit strategy, whichever way you do it. I wouldn't guess. If you force me right now, I would probably do an iron condor. Sell a credit put spread, sell a credit call spread, and see what happens. Let them both fight it out. And in the end, I'll win on both ends. That's what, if you force me. But I'm not going to do that either. Okay, so Don is asking, I would sell a put, but why not buy a call? All right, so let me answer it in several different ways. When you take an options class, what do they say? Okay, good follow-up there. They say most options expire worthless. So I want to be selling them, not buying them, for starters. Selling a put brings money into my account. I need nothing to win. Buying a call, okay, let me rephrase. When I sell a put, there's only one scenario that can cost me money. If it rallies, I make money. If it doesn't rally, I make money. If it falls, I make money. If it falls a lot, maybe I lose money. Okay, so there's only one scenario, falling a lot, versus me buying a call. If it rallies a lot, I make money. If it doesn't rally a lot, I lose money. If it doesn't rally at all, I lose money. If it drops at all, I lose money. Only one scenario makes me money versus only one scenario loses me money. So selling a put, a lot of exposure for falling, then sell a put spread. So what do you mean? You're risking thousands to buy calls. Why wouldn't you risk thousands, maybe lower? I don't understand that comment. Maybe you meant it requires margin because if the stock is expensive, then you need a certain size account in order to sell puts. Easy solution. You sell a put, spread. So I can show you what that looks like. We go back to here, Meta, since we're talking about Meta. Okay, so I can sell. Well, always scares the bejesus out of me when you do that. Okay, so here's the three scenarios that we just talked about, and let's just address them. And my style of trading is not for everybody. I'm just sharing how I can do well the lazy way. Okay, so you can buy shares and risk $100 times 100 shares times $112. That's the price of 100 shares. You can buy a call for $1,100, and then you need a rally to win by middle of February. Or you can sell a put and not need anything to win. So here are the ways. You spend thousands to buy shares. You spend $1,100 to buy a call. Both of these need a rally to win, and they need a rally quickly. The shares, you don't need it quickly. Or I can sell a put at 85 and not need anything. This one, I collect $300 to take that trade. And it'll be credit I receive. No money leaves my account. And this requires $2,000 in equity, in cash. If you have $2,000 in your account, they will let you put this trade on. So how does that work? I'm saying somebody out there, I will buy your shares at 85. They're paying me $300 today. So maybe between now and 89 days, they will sell me their shares at 85. Meanwhile, this position would lose a lot of money on paper. But if I don't panic and I just let it happen, I will wake up owning shares at 85. My break even is at 82. So let's go back to the chart. I will break even here. Meanwhile, any other trade you did with calls, shares, they lost money immediately. Calls blown out immediately. The ones that have shares, they're down 28%. Me, I didn't even start losing. So you tell me which is riskier. I think this is better. Then you're saying, okay, I don't want to risk $2,400 worth of margin for that. Okay, so do a credit put spread. No, let's do 1 and 1. So with this one, I collect about 18% on my risk, and this one only requires $420. So, and this one, if Facebook goes to zero, all I risk is $420 versus doing it with a naked put, which is not a recommendation, folks. You cannot go out there and say, Nick said to go sell this put. You would be wrong. Okay, so this is a sold put. I'm committing to buying shares. This is called a credit put spread. I call it that. People call it bull put spread. You can make it wider if you want. And how does this win? As long as price is at or above 85 in 89 days, you win. How much? You win the amount. This is also a credit. So it's all, right. It's all, it depends on your thesis. What is your thesis? How can we put it to work?
Right, Nick. And we did a quick poll here. How many folks are trading alone? Looks like over 80% of the people that took the poll are trading alone. What's your message for that?
What? Okay, quit that. Why are you trading alone? Find a group. Find a group. It is so much better trading in groups. And just for the simple purpose, if you're humble enough to share your trade with somebody, you're less likely to make a mistake. There are 300 people in my room that are likely to tell you if there's anything wrong with your trade. Hey, you forgot about this, and you forgot about that, and you forgot about this. You will, once you spend time in a room live trading, whether you can be in the room all day or not, doesn't matter. As long as you know you got 300 people just right there, you pop in and say, hey, folks, I'm looking at this. Am I crazy? And leave. Listen to the answer and leave. You will never trade alone again. It is so much fun. People say, why do you do it all day? Because I'm literally seeing the results. And it pays well for me. So I'm not doing it for free. I get paid very well. But I see the immediate results to people. And the feedback from the people is infectious. How do I close an option? And you just reverse the process. If you bought a put or a call and you want to close that put or the call, you just reverse it and you close it. You sell it and it will close. If you bought a put spread, then you reverse the process and you sell that put spread. For example, if somebody did this, they bought a put spread. Why is this called buying? Because they're paying 400 and collecting 300. So that's debit. To close it, you just reverse the process. The words are kind of confusing. This is buy to open, sell to open. That's the order that you got to get the trade there. And then later, to close it, you will reverse it. It will be sell to close and buy to close. Doesn't matter what you call them, but you just reverse the process. It's repetitive, Gilberto. The vocabulary, the nomenclature, the terms we use, they sound crazy, but I'm as English as you can get as far as no Greek. Like, I don't use fancy terms if I can avoid it. And everything we say is pretty repetitive. So you stick with me a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, there'll be fewer and fewer and fewer questions. I am comfortable that if you spend time with me in my live room, you will become a so much better version of yourself right now. You will level up your trading. I guarantee it. You will level up your trading. If you're willing to learn and give me a little bit of time every day, I don't see how you're going to hate this. You're going to have an opportunity to trade. Somebody to listen to you 9 hours a day if you want to. You can come bug me 9 hours a day. You can come bug me off hours anytime. You can mooch off my trades. But what the hell more do you want? So I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, the thing is, man, like, you are there the entire day, Monday to Friday. Folks, you can't ask for more than that. You just can't. It's just not realistic. And
Nope.
Doing it back to back and Sundays, sometimes I feel that, like, I mean, you really have to just take into account the commitment that Nic puts into this live room, where he keeps adding more and more and more and keeps getting creative on how to help all the folks there. And look, I remember when we launched this chat room, Nic, it was just you and me. Now there are days where you have over 300 people live.
Yep. There are days. Every day I have 300 people. So couple of questions here. Do I use an ATR? I don't. Not in here. What happens when price goes in between the two spreads? Nothing special. When you sell an option, you become exposed to exercising, and unless it's SPX, and if the question is about the SPX, nothing happens. The SPX is cash settled. There's no assignment, period. So wherever the bell rings, wherever the price is, then they draw the line and they settle it with cash. There's no assignment. But what the concern is, like I showed you a credit put spread, and they're saying, what happens if it's in between the two? Nothing special. So let's say I sold the put spread here. Let's say this is a scenario that somebody's in right now, right there. So current price is 112. They sold the 115 put. They bought the 110 put. They're down on their luck. They're down about $100, and they could get assigned shares out of the blue. They could wake up being assigned. If there are this many days on the clock, 26 days, I've never been assigned that early, ever. But if they do get assigned, you just sell what you got assigned and no harm done. You might wake up to a margin call if you don't have enough account money in your account, but to reverse the margin call, one phone call, you can reverse it. It is scary. The first time I got assigned, it was terrifying. The second time was also scary, but now it's not that big a deal. And there are situations where you don't get assigned and it's weird. I sold naked puts on the letter X during the pandemic. I sold a $9 put. If you don't know what that means, I'll show you. Whoops, that's not what I meant. Okay, that's what I meant. During the pandemic, where was that? Right here. So on this first jaunt down here, I sold a $9 put, and I'm going to put my cursor at 9. This is where it was. Can you see my cursor? I don't know. So this is where the $9 put. The stock fell to under $5, below 5. So I said to somebody, I will buy your shares at 9. It fell to 4.8, and they didn't give me their shares. So I didn't get assigned, even though, that's because they were like 30 days on the clock. So, and then the market rallied and I made thousands on it. So thank you, whoever that was. What were you expecting? Why the hell did you buy the put from me? You lost all your money. That was ridiculous. What is my percentage of my trade wind up getting assigned? I can't remember the last time I got assigned. The last close call was I shorted puts in Beto 2 weeks ago. I sold the 950 put in Beto and it closed at 9.75. Actually, the closer call was Palantir. I sold 8.7 put spread. And if they had assigned me, I would have made money. I was like, please assign me. Please assign me. Nope. Please assign me. Nope. And then it popped and closed above 8 and I didn't get assigned. You have complete control over that assignment once you get assigned. It's just not as scary as people make it out to be. What tool am I using to see the algo flow? Tradietics. That's what I'm using. And I have 300 people in there. I have a dozen people that are monitoring that stuff for us. Every 10 minutes, somebody says, the money flow is this, the algo flow is that. What is an assignment? Troy, let's back up. Good question. So Troy is taking us back a step. What is an assignment? Let's go there. Okay, let's go there. So let's say next week. Let's say this is next week, Meta. Wow, that's a lot of premiums. Let's say I want to buy shares in Meta, okay? And I say, okay, I want to buy them, but I wish it was $110, not $112. So I would say, if that's the case and I wanted to do it, I would sell a put. And please don't sell a put, okay, without knowing what you're doing. This is me wanting to buy Meta shares at 110 next week. So I would sell a put. I would collect $141 at the open on Monday, if this is where it opens. And then I wait. By the end of the week, somebody could assign me those shares. Who? The person who bought the put has the right, but they don't have the obligation to stick me with 100 shares of Meta. At what price? At 110. And my break even is under 1.9. My break even is $1.40 below what I'm going to get assigned. Why? Because I'm collecting $1.40 and I don't give it back when I get assigned. So I would break even at 108.6. So that would be the worst case scenario for that trade. So me getting assigned is me waking up owning shares. Why? Because the buyer of that same put decides to exercise their right, which they bought. They bought the right by buying this. It's like you buy insurance from the car, from an insurance company, and then you get into a wreck. You have the right to make the call and say, pay me, or not make the call. Whoops, say it's a fender bender. I don't want to make the call and let the 140 die, like insurance premium. So assignment is me, the seller of that put. I may be assigned shares, just like I said. When I sold it, I knew I was going to be assigned shares, maybe not. What if they don't assign me the shares? Then I made $140. So that's assignment. That's one way to get assigned. One thing it means to get assigned. All right. What else are we talking about? What is the cost to join beginner's course? $1 million. Does an exercise ever sell? I don't understand the question. Can you re-ask? You're welcome, Troy. David, thank you. Not necessarily assignment. You could be forced to deliver shares if you sold a call. And you can also be forced to sell shares if you don't close your bought put. Did you know that? Oh, I'm going to blow your mind in a minute. Which platform do I recommend for a newbie? I'm not going to recommend a platform. I'm going to recommend not this one because it's full of bugs. Thinkorswim is good, I hear. Tasty Works is good, I hear. I opened an account. I have not funded it, so I can't speak to it, but it looks pretty slick. You were not assigned SPX last week. No. It's I don't know. Was it Thinkorswim? Is it TD Ameritrade account, John Roberts? If it is, I don't know why the fudge they said. Yeah, why did they send that email? It is incorrect. There's no assignment. You will wake up on Monday with real life. I had somebody that reached out to me on Friday, freaking the hell out. Oh my God, I thought it was paper. I thought it was cash settled. Why did I get assigned? I was like, I don't know why they send that email. There's no assignment. It's anyway, whatever. What are my SPX day trades? Are your SPX day trades? They can be, Jackie. They can be zero. They can be 1 day or 1 week or 1 month, whatever you want. They're available at any time frame. Is Interactive Broker recommended? I can't. I mean, it's got a lot of users. A lot of people in my room use it, so I'm imagining it's good. I don't know. I'm not recommending any brokers. They all suck and they're all good at the same time. Do you ever put a stop loss on each leg? I never put a stop loss mechanically. I'm trading all day. I do everything manually. Jackie, they are available for every day. So yeah, here, I'll show you the visual. Look, there's one every day. So if I choose this contract, yeah, it expires. But I can tomorrow choose to trade this contract, and that one has 15 days. So which one do you choose? That's the point. I'm saying they're available. I share daily, and I share out in time for whoever asks. What VWAP time frame do I use on my day trades? I don't use the typical VWAP, but it's mentioned at least 100 times in my live room. So if you love VWAP, you're going to have the fill of it. I like anchored VWAP. If you want, I can show you where that is. It's really good if you have a good intuition. It's really good. In fact, I used anchored VWAP to nail a trade and stop people from making mistakes when they wanted to buy calls. I said I would be shocked if they go through that level, and that level was the top for that day. Selling puts only exposes you to 100%. If stock goes to 0. Buying a put exposes you to potential loss of 100%. I don't understand. Are you trying to make a point or answering somebody? Or is that a question? What? Oh, okay, good. Do I need to study a lot of technical analysis? No, you don't, Shem. I'm in there. You ask me, I'll tell you. But if you want to learn, you'll also learn. How do you view the market makers charts? How do you view the market makers charts? CC, can you re-ask it? Which software do I use? I use TradingView for charting and TrendSpider as well. Will you please look at Zoom? Sure. Earnings are coming. So, Michelle, listen to this, Michelle. Listen up, everybody. The foolproof method of trading earnings. Listen up. Write this down. You get a good quarter in your house. You shine it really well. And you flip it 3 times, and you take the average. And here's the secret. You do the opposite. Nobody knows what's going to happen on earnings. It's all about feelings. What are the expectations? Like, I know Zoom. I know what I'm expecting from Zoom. But even if you give me the P&L, if you tell me here are the financials they're going to report on tomorrow, I couldn't tell you what the market's going to do with it, because I don't know how many people are like me, how many people are like you, Michelle, how many people are like him or her. It's just about the initial reaction is about feelings, guts. So I would rather make money off of that. Let's take that. And let's say you come to me and say, hey, I want to trade Zoom into the earnings. What do I do? This is what I'll do. I'll look at the Zoom chart. This is a daily Zoom chart. First of all, if you know me, I'm impressed with how well they're doing with their P&L out of the pandemic. Like look at Peloton, right? They both in the same bucket. They both extremely benefited big time from the pandemic. One crashed, one continued its beautiful P&L, right? So why is the stock acting like it's Peloton when the P&L, it's definitely not like it's Peloton? Look at this. P&L is still great. PTON. The P&L, I can't imagine, is the same way. Peaked and now they're falling apart, right? So back to Zoom. If the P&L is good, then they need time to base. But technically, they have not been able to do that. And earnings report last time, very bad reaction. Time before that, very good reaction. Time before that, bad reaction. Time before that, pop and then drop. Time before that, drop. You see that? It's literally 50% going backwards. And I bet you the message has been the same. So it's easier for me to trade the reaction of people than to try to guess where the price is going. This is a 2-hour chart. It's literally in the middle of a gigantic region. So here's my statement on Zoom. I hope, I shouldn't say that. If it dips, I will go long. How about that? If it dips and the P&L still looks about the same, but the headline says, missed on earnings estimates. Yes, let it drop and I'll pick up that stupid headline. What? First of all, they missed earnings, profitability, estimates. Profitability is not important for Zoom at this level. It is a growth company. Tell me how sales did. Are they growing the sales? Not estimates, actual sales. So if they missed the sales estimates or they missed the earnings or both, and it falls on the estimate miss, as long as the sales are growing aggressively, I'm a buyer of that dip. So if you want to get long, make sure you leave enough to double down. I'm not getting long into the earnings. I will trade the earnings report reaction afterwards. What delta do I sell? I like to sell a 15 delta or lower, Anthony. From that question, I'm begging you to join. You're going to love it. We are your people. We are your people. If you're talking delta, we are your people. In the live room and the chat room, we are your people. Did I show you? Did I show you? Yeah, that's what we do all day, every day. Listen, you're going to not regret it. The live room is buzzing and we do great things in there.
Right. We got a couple.
And it's not just me. I promise you, it's not just me. It's the room. It's hard to explain it. It is phenomenal. Just jump in. I am on all day, Becky, all day. And we have girls and boys in there.
Right, Nick. So we just got a lot of new people here that just walked into the session here. I guess it's just, really good to make a quick recap here. So basically, you get 20 plus trade alerts a month by email, plus the live trading room where you get probably 5, 10 plus trades a day from Nick for day traders, swing traders, scalpers, people that buy leaps, all that stuff. The schedule is Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday from 10:30 to 1 p.m. So you are getting the Sunday session, the Monday to Friday, the 20 plus trade alerts per month, full coaching, training from Nic Chahine. So Becky, this would
So here's an example. Somebody is Mark Allen. I asked about Anchor VWAP and how much for the service. So Mark is asking about VWAP, and I'm telling him that we do that. I just recently used the anchored VWAP, although I don't have it on my screen, to stop people from chasing something. It may have been a breakout in the SPY. I don't know. So I'm gonna share how I use the anchored VWAP. So if you don't know what the hell that is, don't worry about it. It's a technical indicator that you can use. TradingView offers it. It's called anchored VWAP. And the trick is how you use the indicators. It doesn't matter what you use technical analysis, as long as you specialize in something and you know how to use it. So I don't have a lot of things on there. Everything I have is hand-drawn. So I draw a lot of things. I know how to use a lot of things, and I'm pretty damn good at it. So here's how I use the anchored VWAP. In that scenario, they were looking to buy calls. I said, well, let me see here. I dropped the anchored VWAP here. And then I said, okay, so let me pick up another extension. So why did I choose these 2 points? That's the high point. That's the low point of this relevant period of time. This is a 2-hour chart. And they both meet up here, those 2 red things that came up from the anchored VWAP. So that tells me that this is an important spot. And the bulls were able to be above it. So any drop would have support. So if you wanted to get long on a dip, you got it. That's why I have this, and it agrees with what I've already drawn. So if we wake up to a dip, I would think that the buyers will step up in some sort of a, the machines will be buying in buying mode, buying some sort of an ascending trend. And if that's the case, then they will eventually have to fight out this. So the range will go from going like this, and then here they will have the opportunity to take this thing here. I'll zoom out and show you what that thing is.
Hey, Nick, really quick, got to give a shout out. Dina Watson, Sierra 400. Welcome to the family.
Right on. Oh, Miguel, that's funny. So you see how the two VWAPs that I just placed, I don't use those, but they're suggesting what I said, that the moving averages are trending up. So on this time frame, the bulls are trying to make higher lows, and they're trying to bust out of prior failing levels. They busted out of this one. They placed this one on Friday. If they can bust out of it by Tuesday, they can probably get to 440 in a couple of weeks. Maybe. Okay, so that's the plan. Buy the dip if it happens, and don't listen to the fear mongers unless we get something new in the news, like something new, not like a new version of like, oh, so and so said. No, I need something new. Are my trades mostly long term? No, they're not. They're not. I like 2 to 3 weeks, and intraday I get 10 trades, 15 trades a day that die the same day. So no. I can. You ask and I'll deliver. Okay, what else do we have? I think I have another 5-10 minutes in me, and then I have to go eat something. I'm just dying here. It's bullish Airbnb. Haha. We just did an Airbnb credit put spread, and it played out. So let me check the chart. When it dropped on earnings, I went out and said credit put spread. I can repeat the spread right now. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. So are you Manuel from the service? Because I do have a Manuel. Yes. Okay, well, we'll chat tomorrow. Remind me. We'll do another one. Why are you here? Go enjoy your Sunday. All right, Jake. Listen, Jake, I'm tired today, so I'm not going to hang around the chat room a lot. So you and I, tomorrow morning, anybody that joined, tomorrow morning, go. Listen, this is your to-do. Today, go watch your videos. Tomorrow, jump in here into the chat room to get the links from my morning write-up. I will have the links and password for the morning write-up, for the live room. That's where you get started. And then the chat will be on. I appreciate it, Miguel. I appreciate you. Support has been checkmarked, so you can go about your business. Go ahead, Miguel. I can't see every name. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of reps in here. Now go. Am I offering time in the live room? Maybe I missed that. Sorry. Are you offering time in the live room? I don't know what that means, Becky. I'll be in there 9 hours. So. Trial, you mean? Oh. I don't know. Ask Rodrigo. Where are the videos? Jackie, are you in the live room? I'll give you a link there. I'm not going to post it here. I'll post it right now. There. Can we run plays by you? Absolutely, Becky. That's what we're there. Your ideas, my ideas. We'll discuss anything that will make money. Yes. No worries, Becky. I promise you. It's 2 ways. I'm the only one talking, but you can type away. To trade SPY call and put in the same day to catch profit between the fluctuations. VH, that's not my gig. Some people can. Can this be done for you? What is this?
Hey, JPR asking how to join the live room. This goes for everybody, folks. in the chat, use that link. That is the only link you can use there to sign up for Nic. The 20 trade alerts a month sent to your email, the live room Sunday session, everything else.
Okay, I don't use stop losses. I act on my stops. Leverage our portfolio. I don't know what that means for you. Every trade that I do can be done with very limited amount of exposure. It depends on how aggressive you want to be with it. If you need a mentor, I think you'll find one in my live room. I'll offer however I can do. Becky, if you want to stop making mistakes, you've come to the right place. I can guarantee you fewer mistakes if you just pass your trades by me. So let's say you want to take another trade. You say, Nic, I'm thinking about this. If I like it, I'll take it with you. If you cannot be on all the time, that's fine, Alexander. My platform offers the product is that I can share my trades and lessons via the chat room that's static for you all the time. So you have a job, you pop into the chat room, you say, what did Nic write about today? Did he share a trade? And you see the trade, and it's usually a slow trade, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, and you decide to take it or not. And if you have time to jump into the live room, that's a completely different ball game. The live room is extra. If you can't make it into the live room, you're not missing out on anything except a good time. I am amazing. Hey, Elena, I know you. You're amazing. And he's amazing. And she's amazing. Reach under your chairs. You all have a Volkswagen. What is my success rate year to date? Oh, okay, Erwin. I don't know. You can go calculate it.
Hey, want to give a quick shout out, Jake Deckard. Welcome to the family.
Okay, so here's the confusion. I write to thousands of people. I don't take every trade I write because my portfolio would need a computer to actually keep up with it. Currently, I have more trades than I've ever had in my entire life, and that's stressing me out. And I don't like it. So I write up trades that are trades I would take, and I don't take every trade I take. So if you want to know how much money I made, why don't you worry about how much money you're going to make while with me, and how much fewer mistakes and how much you're going to learn. My scoreboard with Benzinga is posted, and I have to go update some this weekend. You can feel free to go peruse it backwards and look at the table to see what worked out and what didn't. Not every trade works out. And my biggest, most recent loss is puts on XOM, which is the first time I lose money shorting oil. How do you get into the live room? The live room will be open on Monday. And if you're a member, you read my morning note and there'll be a link with a password.
Yeah, Nic, no, he's talking about something different. So I keep getting the same question again and again and again. How do I join the chat room? Folks, this is like the 20th time that I've said it.
Easy there, Rodrigo. Easy there, buddy.
No, it's in the chat. So we're posting it in the chat. That is the same link. It has everything there. The 20 trades alert. I'm just going to record myself. I'll put a recording. But Nic, so here's the thing, man. Aside from all the trading, you also digest and analyze the markets with the folks. Fed meetings, acquisitions, M&As.
Tonight, yeah. I answered when somebody asked me about Zoom. I went first things first. I went to the fundamentals first. And here's the biggest one, for example. So I got a lot of people interested in Carvana, right? I said for months, avoid for months. Imagine you being in my room and avoided getting it at 100 and now it's $8. And it was all fundamental. It was logic. I said, this company is bleeding. You know, the P&L looks deceiving. You look at the income statement, growth. Wow, what? Holy crap. Look at this growth. Amazing. And then you look at the net income, right? This is why listening to CNBC can cost you money. Net income is not that bad. Look at the growth. And then I looked at the actual cash from their operations on an annual basis. They were bleeding $2-3 billion a year in order to deliver the growth. So I thought to myself, they're borrowing here to get this sales achievement. So in a rising rate environment, that is very dangerous. And sure as schmutz, look at how they're falling off a cliff. Now, compare that I'm going to tell you, this is what CNBC and falling into the habits of listening to estimates and then falling to prey to that stupid decision. So this is another P&L that's a lot of growth, right? This is Twilio, and it generally does not get good reviews out there. Look at the growth in Twilio. That's freaking impressive, right? And then you look at the income statement, the net income, they look like they're losing their asses, right? Yeah, not so. This is a company that's not bleeding cash to accomplish what it's accomplishing. It's actually consciously spending every penny they make and then some in order to continue the growth. Do you know another company that did this? Anybody know a company that they complained about it for 15 years? You're spending too much money. Your margins are too thin. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let me tell you what it's called. It's called Amazon. No, not Apple. Apple is the opposite. Apple is the dumbest management on the planet. They have a beautiful company and they don't know what to do with it. No, Amazon. They reinvented the world. They owned the world. They literally owned the internet. How can you do that? By spending every money. AT&T. No. So Carvana was a warning on the wall. It was like, no. So yes, we look at fundamentals. They're important. I love charts. I'm good with charts, but I'm a fundamental trader. I can't sell a put in crap. I would sell a put in Palantir because that's the same case. They spend a lot, but they spend their own money that they generate. So that's a good investment for the long term, I think. Palantir, this company, at $7, buy 20% share and sit on them and see what happens. What should Apple do as a company? When you borrow billions, don't pay out dividend with it. Buy a company. Buy Palantir. buy something. Do something. Apple is a one-trick pony. If you take the iPhone out of Apple's P&L, Apple will be nothing. Yes, they do sell a lot of services, but everything they have revolves around the iPhone. What if Amazon comes out with a widget that's an earring that projects something in the air in front of you? Nobody would carry a phone. I'm just making shit up, right? But I'm just saying, if we have something, Apple glasses are coming, sweet. What is it, 20 years after Google did them? All right, so Apple is an excellent company as a product, as an infrastructure. All of my family is engrossed in Apple, and they overpay and they think it's the hot crap. They make great products, great looking. They steal every technology they have and they make it better and more sexy. And people overpay for it. And that's a beautiful business model. This idiot running it right now is running it into the ground. He's just underwhelming, to say the least. Okay, what about consider recording lessons you provide in the live room? Thorsten, hey, I know Thorsten.
Yeah, Thorsten signed up.
I have people that record my stuff, although not everybody asks for questions. Okay, I think I'm done here. Do you need me for anything, Rodrigo?
Well, let's go. Well, you did a little bit of this where you were going over some of the stocks from the folks. Maybe.
Okay, so you want to take another ticker or two?
Yeah, let's take some tickers from the crowd here. And kind of just give them a taste of what it would be.
Let's go. Give me a ticker. Give me a ticker. Please don't let it be some obscure four-digit. DLR. Baba, I just closed my longs, Gary. Tesla, Enphase too high. Beto, I already covered. Oxy, avoid. Disney, we'll do Disney. And Tesla. Okay, I'm going to depress you on Tesla. Let there be a warning. I'm the guy that says don't short Tesla. Okay, so don't be upset with what I'm about to show you. Okay, so Tesla needs to be above 220, maybe even 230, 218 to 230 on a weekly basis. Otherwise, it could be 140, 130, 120, or even 95. Yes, over the period of time. Now, please don't say Nick said Tesla's falling to 95. I'm saying it needs to recover certain lines, because technically it is where NVIDIA and AMD were months ago. And I made the same warning and nobody paid attention. Very few did. This is happening in Tesla unless the bulls are back above this yellow line here, this arrow. They need these three arrows to come to fruition. Otherwise, this purple scenario is unfolding slowly. They do have support, and I definitely want to see them bounce off of these candles, and it's not looking like they're going to. So the next level is this one, which is 160. It will drop jaws. People go, "Oh, can why?" Because this is the pandemic level. It is still probably 50%, 60% above the pandemic level. Tesla rallied too fast. So this is not crazy. Now, keep in mind, this is not my forecast. I'm saying if they don't bounce back up above the neckline they've just lost, at least 206, 218, 230 to be safe, you're liable to come back and bleed lower. Let me show you how that unfolded in NVIDIA. Nobody thought these arrows would be true, but I did draw them months ago. And look at how close these came. That was my estimate. That's the actual technical estimate of the Head and Shoulders. AMD, same way. Did I do this right? I did not. AMD, neckline up here, the target, they filled the target almost, and they bounced just above the target. So it can happen. Don't short Tesla based on that. I'm saying if you're adding to your Tesla long, know that this is not potentially a bottom. Tesla's, it is in the hands of the sellers. Look at it. It's not an opinion. It's a freaking fact. Okay, so whoops, wrong. Rallies into the moving averages are going to be sold until they establish a bottom. Nick, it's double bottoming. No, it's not. This is just a support level. If it fails, whoop, they go to here. So what happens? They're selling rallies. So if a rally comes, they're going to try to sell it. If they come back here and they lose this, they drop to here, they try to rally again. And they come back here, they drop, try to rally again. What do you have? A descending channel. That's how it happens. So yes, if you get long Tesla, place a stop. Otherwise, you're going to get long again here and then get this rally, exit, get long.
Right. No, Tesla's been crazy. And Nick, we haven't really gotten your take on the whole crypto situation here.
I did mention it earlier. So we can talk about it for a second. So I guess we're doing Tesla. Disney, I was going to try to get long, maybe a credit put spread. So crypto, the riskiest part of crypto is where you put your money, not the crypto prices. You know, Bitcoin was under 4,000 during the pandemic. It was under 3,000 2 years before that. So I hold Solana. I'm looking to triple my position on a level I feel comfortable with, but I didn't. I hold Ethereum, and I'm very profitable on Ethereum. And I don't hold Bitcoin, therefore I bought Bito. Bito is where you avoid being risky by putting your money into a crypto account. Bito is a regular stock that tracks Bitcoin futures. So if you want to exposure to long or short Bitcoin, you can use Bito calls or puts or actual shares. So I bought shares, and I've been selling for weeks puts, and I haven't been assigned at 950. And I was sharing them live. I skipped last week. And I think, was it like $250 a week or something like that? Ethereum is the process. So crypto, quick lesson on crypto, and then I'm out of here. So, you know, if you do a wire in regular banks, it goes through a network. Most likely, I think it's called the Swift network. So every transaction in the world has to go through a network. Ethereum is that network for crypto. So if you do a transaction of Bitcoin, moving coins from here, buying coins, sending to your wallet, cashing out your account, you're doing it over a network. And Ethereum is the biggest one. Ether is the coin. ETHE is the coin, USD. ETHUSD is the coin that supports that network. So that's why Ethereum now did not make a lower low. It held its low versus the dip we just had. Bitcoin made a lower low, everything else made a lower low, because all the panic, people pulling their money out, people buying stuff, people exiting, people moving into cold wallets, all got paid in Ethereum coin, which is Ether. So it held its value pretty well. I bought Ethereum coin at 880 in that last dip, not this one, the last dip. So what's going on in crypto right now? They're having a crisis like the banks had in 2008. It's a balance sheet crisis. In 2008, the banks went bankrupt. The government saved the world, because the banks cheated. They packaged shit and they sold it as gold, and everybody blessed it, and then figured out, it's like, holy crap, this stuff is crap. And therefore they said, okay, we don't have money. We had assets, but those assets are crap, so they don't have money. So let me put it this way, if everybody goes to Bank of America, wants their money out right now, Bank of America will be in deep trouble. And that's what happened to FTX. There was a rumor, everybody went to FTX, get my money out, or selling their coins because somebody else is going to sell $2 billion. FTX didn't have enough money to cover it. So there's a run on the banks, and hopefully your bank will survive. I'm in crypto.com. I'm not recommending it, but every day I'm like, please don't let there be news in crypto.com, because my coins are great. My account might not be. So Bito circumvents all of that because you can trade it in wherever. What about Ripple? I think it's stuck in litigation, so I don't know. Ripple is another transactor. Cardano is another one. Okay. Oh, David, you are so wrong on that statement. I guarantee you that in your lifetime, David, you will deal with crypto on a daily basis. That's a guarantee. If
Right,
you think that.
Nic, so let's go. What are some closing remarks here on your end of why the folks here should join the room, and what you will be looking for?
Never trade alone. Never trade alone. Join a group that's having a lot of fun and a lot of success. You don't have to use my judgment for it. You will see it firsthand. The group is insanely fun. We're very productive if you're active every day. And if you just want to be trading 2-3 times a week, I got your back with my setups that are slow. So if you want to see me every day, I'm there. If you want to see me once a week, I'm there on Sunday. If you want to hear from me every day and see if you can trade 3 times a week from me, I'm there. I don't know what else you want.
Right, absolutely. There, everybody, big shout out there. Nic Chahine, lead trader for the stock pick for the options inner circle chat room. Let's go ahead and give it.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
This is TradingView. Somebody's asking. This is called TradingView. It's good software.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot, Nic. I appreciate you, man. I'll see you in the room tomorrow, right?
Yep. I'll see you new signups tomorrow. Definitely, for sure. Bye.
Okay. All right, folks. And I'm going to just show you really here quick the room so that you can see what you have to look forward to. Make sure, right, that you know where you're in. So once you get in here, right, this blue panel, there's Nic Chahine there. You click options. You have all the options here. But just know that you click chat here at the top. It's going to take you where we are right now. Vaughn, I'm putting the link there for anybody that wants to join. The discount is available while we are live. And a couple other folks there messaged me about the lifetime, so make sure to send me an email there. Okay, I'm sorry, send me a text about that. All right. Just going over a couple of questions here. Okay, folks. So as soon as you join, really important, you're going to notice that there's 2 channels. You have the inner circle chat, which is where everybody's posting, all the members, including Nic. This is the recording actually of the Sunday charts. So we might play a little bit of that later. We'll see. And this is where basically you have access there to all the stuff with Nic. Then you have Nic's important messages, where you have Nic posting the link for the live session. So just make sure that once you go in there, you get in here. If you want to join the live stream where he's sharing his charts, his screen, basically a live stream the whole day, that's where you'll be able to do that, right? So live session, there you go. Vaughn, Tim, so many folks are asking how to join. You have to click on that link that we're posting in the chat. It does cover the 20 trade alerts plus sent to your email per month. It covers the live stream Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. It covers the Sunday session as well, and all of the live things that Nic will do there with you guys. Okay, well, yeah, there wouldn't be one, Miguel. You'd have to watch it live. Okay, so just make sure that once you go in there, you click this, you'll have to download this thing. And then once you download it, you'll be able to join there. This is futures, and also the indexes are charted out. A lot of people trade the Qs. You have pretty much all this information here with all the technicals. Make sure you go over this in the morning with Nic, right? Because you'll post that with the same post here on where to join with the live session, right? This is where the live stream is, okay? That's where the live stream is. Okay. Then below you can see this is Sunday, the Sunday webinar that's just for the members. Remember, we talked about Nick going over about 150 stocks, things like that. Well, this is where you'll be able to not just join, but you'll be able to put in the tickers that you want that you want to get reviewed. Okay. Okay, I just got a text from somebody that's driving in Arizona, spotty connection. All right, man. I'll hit you up after the session there. Carlos, enjoy your Sunday too, my friend. And let's see, we were also talking about some of the educational videos. That's also covered. That's also included with the link that we have. So just make sure that you join, because you'll have access to all that stuff. And if you have questions, you have my email there in the same post with the link to sign up. It has my email, has my number. You can text me or call me. Jackie, yes, that's the annual, right? No, it does not. No, it would be annual, right? So let me just post this for you guys. Okay, and if anybody does want that lifetime, make sure that you are texting the number that we're putting there. I'll put it again here. Okay, now maybe we can watch in the lifetime, it would include it, Jackie. All right, so let's just watch. I want to show you guys this other video that Nick does. It's a strategic market update. So just so that you can get a sense, really, this was, there's a timestamp. This was on the 13th, so it's a weekly market update. Okay. All right, so just to show you guys a little bit of this, and then I can show you something else there. 1 second.
Hey traders, Nick here. Putting the strategic market update for us for this week ending in 11/18. So last week was extremely bullish, but let's backtrack to 2 weeks ago. I said that in my video from 2 weeks ago, I suggested that yes, the week was felt bearish, but the bears had lost something because they missed an opportunity to put away the bulls. So what did the bulls do last week? They took advantage of it and rallied to high heaven. Maybe they did a little too much, but it's not reason to short. So basically, I'm saying something is I wouldn't short just because, but I wouldn't chase either with both hands from here with new positions. And I'm going to walk you through the logic. So don't short, which means what? Expect a fade, a pause, and if it doesn't come, so be it. But I wouldn't want to grab a whole bunch of calls. If I wanted to fade or short, I would do some sort of a credit call spread, maybe a soft debit put spread, nothing harsh. Let's walk through the logic. Okay, so extremely bullish week. It could continue higher. The bulls did take advantage, like I said. What do we have on the docket? We have potential catalysts that are emotional still. We have a flood of Fed heads that are talking. Maybe they say, oh, wait, that was one report out of many. Don't get your hopes up. Or maybe they say, yeah, that's a good improvement, and people will piggyback on that. We also still have the elections lingering. I believe the Senate is locked for the Democrats. The House is expected to be for the Republicans, but it's not a landslide, and it's much closer than they thought. So what if the long shot, it is a long shot, but what if the actual House still stays with the Democrats? That would not be well received by the stock market. Not a political statement, because they don't like changes, and their expectations is that it's 1-1. And if it doesn't split, House and Senate, we'll see. PPI and a few other real estate reports are coming out. Not sure they're that important, although the PPI is inflationary of sorts. But we do have the monthly expirations. So this is quadruple witching, triple witching. I have no idea what they say this time around. But it is a potential for drama because they are high volume where big money actually hedges themselves using those expirations, the monthlies. They're heavy. So there's a drama potential. So what's the plan of action? I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. The potential for more upside is there if they want it on this breakout, but a dip to retest the breakout neckline. So once a chart breaks out, it's okay for it to come back and revisit the breakout zone because that's how you establish better footing. It's normal. And I would try to buy that dip when it happens and if it happens. So let's talk numbers, and I'll use the SPX like I did last time. It's the easiest one to follow that way. So last week we said that we had two gaps to pay attention to. One was at 3,600 and one is at 4,100. Well, guess what? We are now closer to this one, And I said to book profits and fix things. I did book profits and I did fix things. So, but now we left another gap higher than 3,600. But I still think that we could go to here and then dip. So caveat, there are some pretty good chartists that are perma bears that expect a spike to continue a little bit, maybe even 4150, I'm not sure, and then crash completely. So that doom scenario still exists on their books. For me to lose that 3,500, 3,490, whatever it was from 2 CPIs ago, I would need a new reason. Whatever reasons we have on the plate right now, I don't think any of them is strong enough to pierce that. We'll see. So I expect eventually stabilization, and the sign of it happening or starting to happen is the VIX. VIX last week got shellacked. It fell hard. So if this continues this week, that's perhaps saying that the market makers now have a better handle on things, because that's what causes the VIX to rise, is when the market makers themselves price the options a little bit too high inside the options chain. So more potential upside, but a dip is expected and will be normal. Let's look at pictures before and after. This is the SPX 2 weeks ago. We had possible 1, possible 2. Guess what? We blew through possible 1 and we busted halfway through possible 2. We're coming up against that gap I just mentioned. That's a pretty big fail. And we also now created a giant gap right below. So what if we come back down here? Oh my God, we dropped 3%. That's okay. Normal price action. Then you come back here. Boom. This picture, this concept is going to be so clear in 2 drawings. Stick with me. The RUT is coming up. It'll show it. Okay, so this is the NASDAQ. These were our drawings 2 weeks ago, the before picture, that green path, blue and then green. We moved up and started the breakout. Now, if you hand me this picture and say, what about the stock? Would you go long? I would say right here, not an obvious point of entry. Not a reason to short, but it's not an easy long. Okay, RUT, small caps. This is the clearest one. This was 2 weeks ago, the before picture. And then this is last week. We broke through, got to the resistance. I'll show you this. This is right there, right here. And look, we made progress and we stopped where we should have. So this is the more mature of the other ones. And this is a basket of 2,000 stocks. What if we dip? It would be normal. Come back and finish the job. Why just bust through everything without taking a breather? That's a tough test. This one also, this one also. So this will be the normal path. Take a breather this week a little bit and then break out. All right, so the DIA kind of says the same thing. This was before and this is after. Right into resistance. So take a breather. Take a breather. Okay, so these are the pictures. Again, I will go back to this one. This is the clearest one. We did the great job. So now take a rest, come back and finish it. Let's take that logic into the SPX. Right? So take a breather, fill the gap, come back, take that out and go. Those are my thoughts for this week.
All right, folks. And that was the strategic market update that he does. Let's go ahead and just kind of watch a little bit of the Sunday session so that you can get a sense of what is done there on the Sundays. 1 second.
All right, folks, we have an almost full room for a Sunday. It's 11:20. We're going to rip through a whole bunch of tickers. I think it was 140 something. I do have a list. I will share it in the write-up. I will share it here with the people in the room. Thank you for being here. So there were a lot of tickers of everything, and there were a lot of notes that I tried to read, and a whole bunch of thank yous. I want to thank you right back. And so some of the comments, I'm going to try to make them answer the questions you have in there. Like, I can't handhold you to every question there is in there, but I'll try to do my best with the answers. Okay. So there were a lot of places, a lot of tickers in general that were stuck. When I mean stuck, like it's in the middle of a wide range or a tough range where, yeah, it has support, yeah, it has resistance. This is not one of them, unless you consider a long term. So regardless, what I would say to this one is this is not an obvious entry point. So whatever happened here is not likely easy to repeat. And if you say that, then we are at a top range. So this ticker would be better entered into on a dip. Oh yeah, though I haven't shared my screen. I haven't had any bang either, so Let's go. Good start, Nick. Good start. There. Now they can see my screen. Okay. So what I was saying is that whatever happened up here is not likely to be easy. So a dip is probably easier, and on a dip, it's a better long. This is not a ticker I trade, but if I did, I would buy dips into support. How do I buy dips? I usually sell credit put spreads. So if it dips into here and somebody wants to try to swing it long, that's fine. Or if you're fast enough, you can chase the breakout from here as a trade, not an investment. So I'm sharing it now, right, Gint? You can see it. Yep, okay. So credit put spread on Airbnb is probably the only way I would go along into it. I did share a trade a few weeks ago, and I may repeat it. So it's on my to-do list to see if I can repeat it. It was an easy trade, I think. Maybe it took heat 1 or 2 days, but it did work out. But the heat it took was from the market itself, not because we mistimed it. So lower highs is okay. Strong floor. These are heavy tests. Now, listen to this warning, and it's going to be in my message tonight. If we lose the recent lows we just established, especially last week, there is a big dip coming, but not the crash. The dip that comes, I will try to buy it. So this, in theory, is a huge head and shoulders that may bring 60. But I don't think that's the scenario. We're going into short week. Everybody says up and away because it's a holiday week. Well, here's what I'm going to say. The holiday is only in the US, and of late this year, we've had more drama from days where the US closes and then we come back to work as far as Wall Street and we get hit with something. It's not a rule, but that's my perception from the last, I don't know, 6 or 7. Maybe we had 1. So yeah, maybe traditionally it's an up week, but that's not tradable comment to me. If you may have heard it from somebody on TV, I'm just giving you the heads up. I'm not shorting, but I'm definitely not buying calls just because of that comment. All right, so this is, don't know what the company is. It's kind of in the pickle. There's a huge gap below. A 1.6 seems like support, but 2.2, somewhere around there, is resistance. So if you're actively trading it, you need to be very tactical about it. Affirm, I'm looking to probably re-engage long. I can tell you that the sellers are in control. They're selling every rally. So there is definitely resistance at 16.5, 18.5, and most definitely at 22. Hopefully there's support here. But you can see how my comment from a minute ago that if we lose the support from last week, we're going to, there's nothing here to help it out. So this one is even in more trouble than the rest. So if you assume that this is a low, you can get long. Now, I believe in the company's financials, or I should say the opportunity. The financials are not that great yet. Maybe they're in trouble, maybe they're not. But if you want a speculative company and you're not long SoFi, or Palantir, this is a similar type of a trade. Not a similar type of a company with Palantir, but Wall Street treats them the same. So if I wanted to own 100 shares, I would rather sell a naked put below, create income, and the worst case scenario, I get to buy the shares lower and get paid to do it. That would be my trade. I don't know if I would buy calls, and if I did, I would make them leaps. I wouldn't mind nibbling on shares if I wanted to invest for the long term. So I don't know what this is. All I know is it did what we thought it would do, and now it's back to the base. So if you want to repeat this opportunity, you can. I don't know much about it. It should have support into 270, 265. Amberella, if you're not long already, you missed it. What did you miss? The easy rally. Now it's going into whatever that thing is. You can see how the sellers are in control. They're selling rallies. This is a good rally. Maybe it can fill the gap, maybe not. I'm not sure. It's tough to start conviction longs here. Exactly the same comments on AMD. Let me see here. So this came to fruition. They met and beat it. But look at the junk they left behind. So a dip back into 65, maybe if you're lucky into 60 or 62 would be a great place to re-engage long with AMD. The sellers are in charge. That's why I left this guy. The sellers are definitely in charge. This is what this says. The bears are in control. next trigger long is to beat this one. I don't think it's going to be easy. I would rather see another dip into here to come back and take this out to get this. And look, that is a weekly neckline that they need to recapture. Otherwise, the downside scenario is still not done for AMD. Yeah, this scenario is available just courtesy of the SPX losing support from last week. It is available, so don't get too cocky. Amazon, same exact comments, although last week Amazon behaved better than the rest. Nevertheless, look at the gaping hole they left. This is never a good base for more highs. And look at the gaping hole they left here. And look at the hole here and the hole here. We have just gone stupid. That's what's going on here. Wall Street has gone nuts. So I would rather get long Amazon around 88, and even then I would sell a put spread down in the 70s, maybe even the 60s. So it is possible that if we had a couple of bad days, I will venture into a credit put spread, tactical longs in Amazon. So what if I'm investing? If I'm already long investing in Amazon, I'm not going to add to my investment. I don't have a reason to. Look at the resistance at 104. That candle and this candle and this gap, it's not going to be easy. So if we get to 104, they're going to be sellers. If you force me to go long Amazon, I will do an iron condor. I don't know what this is. I don't know why you keep messing with it. My goodness. Okay, so this is a no touch for me. If I invested in this, I would not add. I would study the company and see if my investment is still worth it there or not. ARC-F. Stuck in the middle of the range. Picture perfect. Tough range. Why? Look at this. Weakness. And these are tough. The bears are in charge still. Onus is on the bulls to take it out. So it's not going to be easy, folks. I would look. That was the downside scenario. Wow. Did we nail it twice? 1, 2. Look at this. I mean, that's like, phew. Okay. So if you lose this one, you're going to go much lower. Why should they go much lower? I don't think we should. This is a collection of decent companies. ARC-F is going to be exactly the same. But it's you can't go long, you can't go short. What are you going to do? Look at this, ARC-K. I think 11-ish% of this is Tesla, to give you an idea. The top 10 companies in this ARC-K are good companies, and they're about 50% of the whole index. So think about it that way. If you go long now, you're going long Tesla, basically. And Spotify, JD maybe is in there, maybe Baba, I'm not sure. Companies like that. Gaping hole. Yep. And by the way, Tesla is in deep, deep technical trouble. We'll get to it. Asan, I don't know much about it. All I know is I'm not going to go long into this debacle with a giant gap below. There is support here, but if you force me to trade it, I would sell a put spread if that's even possible on this ticker. So it's not going to be easy catching this falling knife. If I'm long, I'm not adding. ASML, that's the opposite, I think. It's running into prior pivots. So you see that line right there? It's been a battle zone. And here they are, look, right here and right here, going back into it. This is a weekly resistance area. It doesn't inspire confidence to get long, but look how big it is. I mean, I'm saying like 620 plus or minus $20, $30. So what is your goal? To start an investment portion? If position, if that's the case, this is not an obvious entry for that. If you're tactically trading it, like on the 1 hour basis or something, maybe buy the dip. The bulls are in charge on the shorter term basis, but it's either way, it's not for me. I don't know what that is. Yikes. Okay, so I guess it has support at 120, better support at 110. It's going to have a wall at 160 and 176. Again, you're stuck in the middle of the range. If you're investing, you should do homework on it. What is this? Yikes. No income, all spending. Do your homework. Broadcom. It's been around forever. The bears are in charge of the daily chart. This is an area where they have sold it. So a dip into 480 makes sense. That's on the daily chart. On the shorter term charts, if they take this out They have an inverse head and shoulder potential of much more upside, but I don't think it's that easy. I think 550, 560, 570 is going to be very difficult. So yeah, on a dip is a better buy. Maybe fill the gap. If they fall into 490, I would sell a put spread down there. I forget if it's liquid or not. I have not traded in a while, but that would be me. Boeing, look at how perfect this rally was. From here, I don't see easy upside. So it's running into prior failing zone. That zone, look at it. It was a strong floor and then a hideous accident scene, and they're coming back into it. Been important since 2017. If you force me again, I would have to do an iron condor of sorts, and it's not that pretty. Baba, it's the type of deal where Caterpillar, I didn't want to do a credit call spread. Somebody asked for it, so I said, let's do an iron condor. Thank God for that. Last week, it finally came back into the green, even though it's under fire. Okay, so what are we looking at? Baba, I had longs, I closed them. I closed them here somewhere. I don't want to be engaged in Chinese companies, but technically, Baba, if above 87, it could go to 103 with a lot of resistance. But then again, it could be 55 in 2 days if President Xi over there comes up and says, oh yeah, I'm shutting it down. I don't know. You know better. Do your homework on Chinese politics, because I can't even get a beat on U.S. politics, let alone Chinese politics. The company's fine. Although Baba's earnings report showed that they shrunk in sales. This is a company that can make $110 billion a day on 11/11, and it shrunk in sales. I question what's going on. Okay, who is this? Bank of America. Not an obvious entry point. I know people who are short it. They're struggling to break out of this purple thing because the upside potential is up here. So I see the reason why somebody wants to go long. This is not resistance anymore. I should have relabeled it. This is support now. So on a dip, I like it. Up here, I don't. I'm not a fan of banks anyway for making money off of trades. I don't know what this is. Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, of course. It's a meme stock. It's up at the death level. I don't anticipate it goes above it. But if it's a meme stock and it goes above 42, get out of its way. Goodness, who knows where it goes. Fundamentally, this company is dying. Not my opinion. It's 1/3 of what it was 3 years ago. Why would anybody want to invest in that? I have no idea. Has anybody gone to a Bed Bath & Beyond lately without a 20% coupon in their hand? No. I went one time online to buy a shower head because Amazon wouldn't sell me one because California has all kinds of restrictions. I choose a shower head. No, you can't send it to California. No, you can't send it to California. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to Bed Bath & Beyond. They messed up my checkout. I've never been there. It's so easy. It's like click, 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 boom. It wouldn't cancel. Oh, that was Bed Bath & Body Works? Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. Ignore all of that. But still, Bed Bath & Body Works, the sales, I was talking about their sales, are 1/3 of what they were 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So the concept is the same. I've never been in one on. Backtrack. I've done this before, by the way. I just flashed back. I've done this exact mess up before. Beto. All right, so pay attention. Pay attention. This is the tracker of Bitcoin price. It trades on the regular stock market. So if somebody wants to engage in trading crypto, this is, quote, the safest. In my opinion, there are no experts in crypto. In my opinion, the riskiest part of investing in crypto is where you put your money. And that's exactly what's going on right now. What we're having in the crypto sphere is a 2008 crisis, like what happened in the banks. They're not a joke. If they're a joke, then Bank of America is a joke because it would have folded if it wasn't for the government in 2008. Back then, the regular banks, they committed fraud. They collectively sold crap as gold. And then when everybody smelled the smell, they panicked out of them, so the banks failed. We had, 400 or 500 banks fail in the U.S. alone. Some of them are huge, and the ones that didn't fail got a bailout so they don't fail. So what's going on in crypto right now is a similar scenario to 2008, minus the criminal aspect. Right now, it's dumbass stupidity, inexperience, kids running giant piles of money. They don't know what to do, so they're figuring out you can't do the stuff you do, but they weren't packaging it and selling it to other people. So it is a crypto related problem. Will Bitcoin survive? I'm very confident it will. Is this the very bottom? I am not so confident it is. So what am I doing? I am long crypto. The crypto money I have in crypto accounts is speculative. When I put it there, I knew it could all go away. And every day I cross my fingers hoping that my platform doesn't fold. And I do have Bito shares. I did not add. What I did was sold puts into fear, and I never got assigned. So maybe I can do that. So if you already have an allotment risk in Bito, I wouldn't add. I would add if it gets down to 5 or 6. It could. So just like the market, if Bito loses this, it's going back to here. And in the pandemic, it was $3,000. So that would be okay. So down here. So it's nothing. It hasn't happened before. And 2 years before that, it was less. It was under 3,000. So this thing is speculative, but it pays a lot. So I think it's worth a little speculative bet on this if you have a little bit extra money. Technically, you have a problem here, must hold. Problem here, must breach. Neither should be easy. Ethereum, by the way, is holding up better because all this panic and all these transactions that are doing in crypto happen with Ether money. So the Ethereum coin, Ether, ETHE, is doing better than Bitcoin. Has not made a lower low, by the way. Ethereum has held up better. What is this? BlackRock. So this is technically a trigger for here, but it doesn't look that easy. So if I'm long, I'm not adding. If I'm looking to get long, there's no reason to get long here. Maybe down here. 680, 670. Morning is still. If it falls below 640, I would do a credit put spread. I mean, the company's great. Boyle, can't remember what that is. Oh, is this a UNG counterparty? Yeah. So I shared a trade to get long. Is it Boyle? Yes. And it worked. I'm not about to share another one. If you want to trade it, go ahead. It may have upside potential. I think something happened this weekend that might pop natural gas on Monday, some sort of an explosion in Russia or somewhere on one of their pipelines. I'm not sure. Do your own homework. Only one person's in jail, Echo, from the 2000. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Boyle above 44 can go to 50. And it has decent support. I closed my UNG, which same thing as Boyle. I shared along upon request, and then I closed them. So Berkshire Hathaway, excellent company, excellent financials. I'm going to say something that's going to shock you and pretty ominous. I would not want to hold this stock if I'm trading. I'm not going to say why, but it just has to do with the age of the people that drive the stock. This stock are one person, and now suddenly they have two people, and they're both like super smart, super sounding healthy, but they're both extremely old. And if, let's say, Elon leaves Tesla, Tesla stock is going to get demolished. And I think same thing here, even though the company itself is financially extremely well set. I think if you want to go along BRK.B, you should go along the XLF instead, because this is the biggest component in the XLF, and it's about 12-13% of the XLF. This is an indirect tie to BRK.B. That aside, the chart is going into a prior fail. It doesn't inspire confidence on the weekly basis. First problem area is 314. You take that out, you could get to 320, 322.5, but it's best on a dip. This area here looks pretty good on the short term. Good for him, man. He sounds like he's my age. He's pretty amazing. Okay, so BX. I thought he's older than that. The other guy is older. Anyway, so they're trying to base here. I wouldn't mind getting long BX again. Support zone, that still is there. So you can just push it this way. This little tizzy they had and happened, and so we can take it out of there. So this is support also. So we have support and support. It's not a crazy time to do a credit puts, but if it's liquid enough, I know I've shared one for us. Maybe I'll do another one. I don't know. We'll see. It's just not that exciting. Gameco, not for me. Higher lows, lower highs. They're fighting it out. They have a tight range. So this is a support zone. They have a tight range. They should have buyers here and they have sellers here. If you can take this out, maybe you can take this out, but this will be the target. So it's a good trade. As far as an investment, wow, this played out well. As far as an investment, do your homework on the company. I don't know what this is. Doesn't inspire confidence. Let's zoom out. Okay, we can take this out. That's not happening. We can take these two out. Too far high. I leave this one to remind me that we made a good call. So you can see how they're selling 28 consistently. So you better hold this, otherwise this is going to fail and it will end up here. Okay, it's one of those companies. You're going to have to do homework. They spend a lot, they don't make a lot. They grow fast, but so do the spending. You have to make sure they're not burning cash. If you lose this one, I don't think this one holds up. So be careful with that. Okay, oil. Sell everything you own, pile into oil. Everybody. Because oil is going to $650 a share tomorrow. No. Whole thing was a joke. Bad joke. I'm just sick and tired of covering oil. That's the honest truth. Okay. Luckily, the person that asked for this question, it was a trading question. So we can focus on that. Let's go in. I know I will be right. I just need time to be proven right. Until then, leave me alone. My thesis is that it's a whole bunch of lies. Okay, so they said higher from here. I think they wanted to get to 86 in oil, which I don't contest. This is a prior bounce. It should bounce one more time. Now, if you lose this one, it goes to 70. And there's a sweet spot. I don't know exactly where it is. My thesis on oil. The sweet spot below 70 or below 75. There's a number here that OPEC hates. OPEC loves it above here and below here because this number keeps everybody in the West pumping. But it's not, OPEC is losing actual cash going into its banks because they're not benefiting from that extra 20 bucks of oil up there, and they're losing market share. So I think if oil gets into the mid 70s, OPEC will start talking like they're going to bring down the price. They'll start talking nice with Biden, and then they'll bring down the price down to like 62 to 57. Because at 57, most of the people who continue to pump at 70 will stop. They will only pump to service their debt. So the Western world that needs to break even at 70-ish will start reducing their output. They will just make enough because they're losing. So they'll pump at a loss only to service the debt, to get cash so they can pay out their interest. So OPEC, we're almost there. I bet you if oil gets to here, OPEC will push it down to the low 60s, maybe even high 50s. That's my thesis. I can't prove it. We'll see. Because they need money to pay for their socioeconomic structure. They break even at 10 bucks, I bet you, from pumping oil. But they have to pay for schools and medical and all of that. So they need like 50 bucks. And they would want to get cash into their coffers by recapturing market share. Anyway, my thesis, I can't prove it. CLF stuck in the middle of a range. You take this out, that's a nice inverse head and shoulders will get you this, but I don't think it's going to be easy. This was a pretty sharp cover of this gap. There's a gap here too. So yeah, you can higher lows, lower highs, gap here, gap here, gap here, gap here. Messy chart. It's the kind of chart I never trade because it's just this messy. If somebody wants to hold shares or calls to get to here, fine. Just make sure to put a stop loss. What is that, Bill V? Clover. Most quality company on the planet. No, I own shares as a YOLO. I paid $1.80, $1.78, $1.82, I can't remember, per share. Dang, you can't hear. Oh no. Audio Z. Okay, so I'm just flabbergasted at this. They call it a fraud company. It's almost $2 billion worth of revenue a year. I don't know how they are on a quarterly. They're kind of topped out, but they do business with states, and the states are blessing them and signing them up. Nobody's doing a due diligence on the states yet. Somebody out there thinks that they're fraud. So I'm thinking, I don't think you're right. So I bought shares. It's a YOLO trade. It is at a base. If you want to buy shares, I mean, why mess with calls? It's $1.30. I mean, how cheap is the call? You might want to buy shares or sell puts if they have them to own the shares. So I own a bunch of shares, like I bought one batch. I never added to it. I'm just happy owning it. By the way, Clover called the bottom 2 bottoms ago. It turned positive on a really bad day. I was like, oh, what? Clover is positive? Maybe we're done falling, and that was the bottom. Costco, love the company as far as how they operate. I like their business model. This is not an obvious entry point. I'm pretty sure we caught the dip on earnings. I sold the credit put spread and maybe shared the debit call spread. I'm not sure. But it is, the breakout was here, and now they should come back and test footing. So at 500, plus or minus 10, 20 bucks would be better. Like this area would be better is what I'm saying than this area. They can still rally. Maybe this week they get to 540 and they have a down to 510 or 500. Credit put spread, if you twist my arm, I guess is fine, but I'm chasing. This one I would not touch. I would own shares and forget about them if you want to. It pays you a dividend and it does well in bad times. This is a crazy price action for such a boring. It's freaking soup. What is with this? Something above our pay grade goes on with this company. This is close to its prior fails, not an obvious point of entry. I wouldn't short it. CRM, I would re-engage long if there's no earnings. There is earning report at the late November, so kind of puts it at a no touch unless you're investing in it. Good company, good management. Maybe they make a push. There's something going on with Slack. I know because I use it and I was upgraded to a pay account, and now they're saying your pay account is you're going to miss out on that. I wonder if they're going to take it away from being free. If so, I will have to leave Slack because it would be very costly to stay there. But what if people don't? And so CRM may get another source of income. I'm not sure. I'm speculating. Even without, it's a good company. It's a good base. If you hold this, let's put it this way. If it falls on earnings, I will be there to catch that falling knife. Okay? It's already in the quarantine zone. Why? CrowdStrike. It's in a golden zone. What is that? It's these 3 lines. Look how easy it is to say, oh, the sellers are in charge. They're selling rallies. This is a rally, and they're fading the rally. And they're inside the 50%. This is Fibonacci ratios. And the giant gap below. I hate it. Let's see what happens. I can't go long outright with shares or calls. This candle is death right there. 147, yikes. So, and look how pivotal it is. So 142 to 147 zone is incredibly difficult. There might be some downside. There might, closer to 130 or 128 would be a much better entry point with stops below this one. Because if they lose this one, they go to 108, maybe 102. What? But they're selling rallies. Why wouldn't this be different? So why would this be different? Rally sold, rally sold, rally sold. This was a rally. And each one of those rallies came back and made a new low. Came back and made a new low. So this can come back. And it can make a new low. And it would be same, nothing changed. Maybe. So see what happens here. That's all I'm saying. CVX, again, sell everything, pile in everything, pile into CVX. And Exxon too if you want. No. I'm tired of it. Here's my answer to the oil trade. Gosh, dang it. I wish they would just disappear. My answer to every oil company stock right now that is making highs. Investors should avoid. That's my call. You can pile in if you want. Traders can do their thing. There's plenty of money to be made based on trading that price action. From the trading perspective, you're stuck inside of a range. You look like you have strong support and strong resistance. Breaching either of those two will carry in that direction. So if you lose this one, you're probably going to end up here. If you take this one out, I can't imagine that, but you'll probably end up at $200 a share. And the funny part is, it's quote not expensive. But here's the thing, using the PE as like, oh yeah, it's cheap, you're going to get hurt. PE is 10. It's not expensive. But it's all based on the price of a commodity that you can't control. It's not like Amazon, when it drops its PE, that's because it did something to raise its income or drop its expenses. This one did nothing to raise its income except collect more money for the same product they pump. That's it. So if that price disappears, they go back to being super expensive. Let's put it this way. If oil takes a tumble lower, suddenly their income statement takes a huge hit and that PE would not look that pretty. And it's like this. So I'm just saying the PE is not a foolproof method to say this is cheap. That's my opinion, not fact. Actually, it is fact. It's math. I don't know what this is. So let's zoom out. Stuck in the middle of the range, regardless of what it is. You have pretty good support around 1450 and looks like incredibly difficult area above 18. So trade that range if you can. Look at this one on a daily basis, stuck in the middle of the range. How many Camping World? Avoid this whole thing. I traded Camping World one time and it was a nightmare. I won, but it was a nightmare with options. Yeah, not very liquid. Avoid it. And it's a fellow partly Lebanese guy, I think. Yeah, that's Lamonis. Disney. I'm looking to get long again as a trade. I want to trade long against this base. I don't think we should lose this base. Maybe I can do another credit put spread if I haven't done one. I see one on the screen. I just don't remember doing it. There's going to be a lot of sellers here. I'm not saying it's going to rally. I'm saying it has a lot of support and I want to make money out of that. In fact, maybe I'll do an iron condor on this one. Very interesting. Kind of like Caterpillar. We'll see. DraftKings, this is not an obvious entry point. I don't mind the company financials, fundamentals for the long term, but it doesn't make enough money for me and it spends too much money right now. Look at that. I think I can do better in other companies for investment. This trades well. On a dip, I would sell a credit put spread. I'm not going to touch it otherwise. And you have two triggers if you're actually trading it. 14.2 and 15.8.9, something like that. What is this? Oh, DigitalOcean. They sell advertising? Cloud infrastructure. Okay. Then the sellers have complete control. So it's a matter of, if I'm long, I would exit below here because I don't know where they're going to go. On a rally, expect a lot of sellers up here. So if they get to 34, maybe they get to 37, but that's going to be difficult. They still have a gap. So maybe they do this and then fall back down and retest that. Be careful. If I'm long via shares like a fundamental long, I am most definitely not adding. Devon, everything I said for Exxon applies here, except it's not doing that well. So Devon, if Devon loses 66.5, it will be at 60. And I don't think it can take out 74. But if it does, it'll be at 78, 79. And that is a trigger all by itself too up there. But also huge rally. I think there are sellers at 72 to 74. I don't think the buyers can take them out. But wackier things. Speaking of whack, D-whack. Believe it or not, I am long the stock based on somebody in the live room. So James said, get long. I got long. We got rich in 10 minutes. And then I sold calls against them 2 times. And so I collected hundreds of dollars from selling calls against an asset I owned for December. So it's not like I think it's going to go higher, but I own a call out in December and it's still about greenish and I'm able to sell calls against it every week. So I'm making money off of that asset. So this week I will close it, and I would have made money from it and from owning it. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know what's going to do. This is a crazy stock, and it's a good trading stock. Resistance into 23, support at 19. You lose 19, you're going to go to 15, maybe 14. And you could be $9 from a fundamental perspective. I don't know what the fudge is going on with this company. So end phase, I wouldn't touch it. It's too high. I like the product. I like the company down there, but I don't like it up here. So I think they will lose this. I think they will come back down to here. There's even a chance they lose that and go down to where it makes sense.
Hey, folks, just want to give a quick shout out here to Sanj, our newest family member here. Let's go. Everybody welcome Sanj. Okay, folks. So, all right. So this is the session. We've gone over like 36 minutes. Okay. Just to give you a little touch of what the Sunday session is all about. We're going to finish watching this video, and I might show you something there a little bit from another session. I believe there's more videos from this, but just so that everybody gets a sense of what we're doing here. Okay. What I'm showing you, this is from the Sunday session, which was today, and almost all the tickers and even more that you guys requested are in that Sunday session. It's over about 150 tickers around that. So let's go ahead and finish this video, and just make sure to reach out, text, or call if you have any questions on joining the room. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get back here to the session.
It's a good product, good P&L. It's just the price action thing. I'm not comfortable getting long here. It's not a reason to short. I'm just not comfortable being long here. EQT right in the middle of the range. Sellers into 42, support into 39. That's all I can tell you about it. I don't know what it is. Energy Transfer Partners. Is this a dividend play? 9%? Yikes. Okay. Okay. Well, enjoy the 9%. The sellers are in charge for this period of time in November. Rallies are being sold. This is a pivotal zone. I think there are sellers lurking at 1230. If they can clear this, they probably can fill the gap and maybe overshoot this and go much, much, much higher. It'd be weird if that happens, but that scenario is there. Versus not being able to hold this in the next couple of weeks, and then that brings you down to here, which would be a better entry point. And it pays 9% almost while you wait. Ethereum. Okay, I kind of said what I thought about Ethereum. So Ethereum is, if you don't know anything about crypto, this is it's not actual price of Ethereum, but it's something that it's a trust that from Grayscale that tries to, oh wait, this is ETHE, Grayscale. That's the ticket. Okay, so Grayscale has done done a decent job trying to track the price of Ethereum. Okay, so in Ethereum is the prices of Ethereum, which are tracked by ETHUSD. So you see how the Grayscale is not doing as well? I should learn my lesson. This is the price of Ethereum, which is what the Grayscale is trying to track. Okay, you see this? This is the low that I bought in Ethereum, and prices now are here. But when you look at it from this perspective, why is this one not holding well? So they're not doing a good job tracking the price of Ethereum. So I'm going to update my trade for that. So that's not happy for me. So BTC USD, that's Bitcoin. And let's see if we can go to BITO. That's a different time scale. BITO is the low and now is improving. Whoops. Anyway, You know what I mean? I'm disappointed with Grayscale's Ethereum tracker. One of the members, what is happening? Is this okay? So I must have picked on something else. Oh, this is a weekly. Okay, never mind. All right. Anyway, crypto is in an uproar. If I own a little bit of Ethereum, I'm okay holding it. And I do own Ethereum, and I'm going to hold it. All right, somehow I jumped to a different screen. Sorry about that. So this is SPX. We were at, oh, the last one. Perfect. We will stop here and we'll start with Ford the next video.
Okay, folks, and that was just one of the videos there. Let's go ahead and see if we can watch that second one because I actually wanted to see what his take was on some of those stocks. And I'm getting some questions here on how to join. Folks, we put the link in the chat, so make sure that you're looking at that one. So let's go on to the second video. This might take us somewhere else. Okay, there you go.
All right, this is video 2 of 3, starting with Ford. So I do like the company. I've gone long before. This is not an obvious entry from an investment perspective, but there was a bit of good news, that GM had last week, that they forecast profitability on the EVs much sooner than expected. I think they said 2025 or whatever it is. I dare them to do that, but that would be great, and that would alleviate my concern. For now, I think their P&Ls, this and GM, are going to suffer until they figure out this EV thing. One of my car, I needed to buy a car battery last week. I was shocked at the prices. The last time I did that, they were $85 to $110. It was $250 for a same battery. It's not going to be easy to go full electric, and I don't think we can on a worldwide basis, 100% of the cars being electric. 120 million new cars a year will require batteries and replacement batteries, not to mention going backwards. So it's going to be difficult. I think it's going to be hybrid of sorts. So car companies, I'm not too excited about Ford up here. This is a technical reason for that, and the fundamental reason I just told you. Now, technically, if you take this out, you will challenge that. But that would be an exit point for me. Good short-term buying dip opportunities. So there are supports. Good trend. Okay. It's not an ad investment for me, for Ford. For solar, I see a lot of people trying to short it. Why? Forget it exists. So somebody is looking to trade it, so you can trade it, and for that you're going to have to have a good risk appetite. So I wouldn't try to short it just because there's nothing against which to short it. I don't have reference points. So if you want to go long, you go long on dips. I don't know what you're shorting. So 4 hour maybe, I think they mentioned. I just don't see it. So this could be the target. So a dip might be coming, but there's no reason to short. Avoid it. It's like if you're a gazelle, if you're a lioness hunting gazelles and you see a herd of gazelles running away from you, one is limping and you choose to chase the one that's leaping instead of limping. I just don't see why. Let it go. Fiverr, you need to hold last week's lows, otherwise you come down to here. Let's go to 2 hours. Yep. It's one of those companies that is too new, too young, too small to have the benefit of the doubt on Wall Street, so people hate it. Have they stabilized? They look like they're stabilizing, but they've done that before. Higher, low, and then they made a lower high. So it's really important for me to get Fiverr above 46. That may get you 60. But yikes, what is that? Be careful. If I'm long Fiverr, I wouldn't add. GBTC, we talked Bitcoin to death. I'm long Bitcoin. This is an indirect way of doing Bitcoin. A Grayscale, they have this one, an ETHE. So be careful. It is a speculative trade. They are having a crisis, which is going to linger for months. More banks will fail. Let's hope it's not the one you have your money into. Except if you're trading GBTC, that concern is not there unless Schwab fails or Fidelity fails. GDX, the breakout came, the target, they overshot, they hit resistance, and now they're coming back to test the neckline. Normal price action on a daily basis. I don't have a reason to be long GDX here, except to say maybe I could sell some credit put spread, but I'm not going to. If I am, I would use the GLD. But in this case, the GDX is a bunch of companies, so it is not the same as saying, yeah, I can trust it because gold is going to go up. No, it is not gold. It is a bunch of companies who profit from the price of gold, and that's not the same. So be careful confusing the two. Now on the good side, the GDX tends to move, last time I traded it, a lot faster than gold. So if the GLD is running and the GDX decide to go with it, it will go at a faster pace. So that's the good news about it. Support below, resistance above. Technically, this is a catalyst to 30 or 32. So whatever you feel like it. Maybe a credit put spread, maybe to account for this giant gap down here. If you can, I'm not sure. I don't know what this is. To be honest, I had to copy and paste the entry because I didn't know if there was L's or I's or ones or one. So not an obvious entry point going back into a massive failing zone. Maybe you have some upside if you take these, and you have buyers into this. So somewhere in the 18s would be a better entry for me. Time for a new video. Already? No, I just did. 7:41, 5 minutes ago. I just stopped and started. As far in Heather, knee, I'll do at the end. Okay. So unless we get to the ends, then I'll just jam it in for you. Oh yeah, thanks. What is this? Generac. I would avoid it. I mean, the products are okay. I went to buy a generator. I thought I would end up with a Generac. I didn't. I bought Harbor Freight. So they've tried the base before. It's not for me. If I bought some here and I'm adding shares here, I better know why. I mean, the P&L looks good, but why is Wall Street hating it so much? Just do your due diligence there. I'm not sure what's going on. If I get long, I would stop out if they make a new low. I don't know where they're going to go. If I'm looking to get long for the future as an investment, take a partial position. All right, Google. This is Google. I don't mind a dip to come close or cover this gap, come back and take it out. I can tell you 100% the sellers are in charge. They tried to consolidate here. They tried to peak above it. Then they lost the consolidation, and now they will have huge sellers from here to here. And I mean huge. So then now they lost this consolidation zone here. Very similar. Check it out. That's pretty weird. This is a daily. Look, consolidation pretty long. Poke above it, lose it. Consolidation not as long. Poke above it, lose it, and now they're trying to back into it. Pretty weird. So sellers here from last week, buyers here, and a gap. So not inspiring confidence. It will follow the market. So if markets rally, this is not going to fall on its own. The company fundamentals are impeccable. I'm just talking price action. I don't like it right here. Gap below, gap above, kind of like the SPX. Honeywell, definitely not an obvious entry point. This arrow is still available. If you're looking to get long here, I would avoid it. If you want to short it, you use debit put spread and put stops. Hood, next spike, I'm going to get out. I got stuck with 100 shares. I'm very red on them. It was a mistake on my part. I completely forgot the trade was on there and I was assigned, so I said, screw it. It needs a buyout. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Somebody needs to just buy it out. On its own, this is probably as good as it's going to get. On spikes, get rid of it. Hubs, I don't know what they do. HubSpot, maybe it's advertising. It's pivoting around an area, and I think sellers are into $290 per share. So if we come up to here, it's going to be sold. So now it becomes to these two better hold for HubSpot. If you lose this, I think you will be in a wonderland, which is below 200. The sellers are still in charge. You see it? Now you can see the levels. Like this candle is, wow, very telling. Be careful. IBB, not a good entry point. Don't short it, but it's just not a good entry point. I do trade it. Part 1, part 2. I did a credit call spread and credit put spread, and they worked out, looks like. But maybe closer to 125, I will repeat a credit put spread. I'll put an alert here. Right here, there's nothing to do. I don't want to short it. Intel, finally making some moves. It was a bargain down there, but I couldn't pound the table because it was getting no respect. So I said, buy it and hold the shares. Don't buy calls. I guess buy it and hold shares. So the easy work is done. A dip would be buyable, and then hopefully it does that. Eventually, people will figure out that this is an amazing company and it's a beast. So we'll see. I don't know what this is. Anyway, they look like they have a pivotal zone somewhere on 88. But they also have a gap below that and a gap above that. Phew. I think they're hard sellers at 98, strong buyers at an 84. Ping pong inside that range if you're actually trading it. J&J, this is not an obvious entry point. That's a nope, not an obvious point of entry. That's what an acronym says. Even though it looks like it's breaking out and this will be the target. I cannot get long into this mess. Don't short it though because of that. It has a double gap down here. Well, a gap. K-Web, I would avoid it just like I would avoid BABA. I'm out. I'm happy with the result. Technically, the dip should be bought, and then the rally out and taking that out can get you to here. So maybe this is a cheaper way to trade the Chinese stocks than BABA. But look at it. Massive problem here, right? And that's where they're at. So maybe they do this, and then that's an inverse head and shoulders, this much upside from here to here, and maybe that triggers this, maybe even triggers that. Then you go to 6,000. No, but don't go buy calls because Nick said, oh, it's going to 6,000. No, Nick didn't say that. Nick said it's going into a very difficult resistance, and if it dips and fills these gaps, builds a better base, comes back, and if it takes this out, maybe it can get to here. That's what Nick said. If maybe. I'm not still on Intel. Pamela, your thing must be stuck, right? Can someone confirm? Yeah, thank you. Okay, Labu. This is like an IBB scenario, and it's stuck in a range. Labu is an accelerated version of the IBB. I prefer the XBI, not IBB, XBI. I prefer the XBI. Strong support, but if you lose that support, you're going down. It shouldn't happen. So if somebody's long Labu for, say, the future, I don't mind it. But you should know that this is, I believe, an accelerated 3x, yes, of the XBI. So if I go XBI, they look the same, right? So I prefer trading the XBI personally. If you want to buy Labu, the shares, it's better than buying calls on Labu. Okay. LAC, it used to be tied to Tesla. Is it still? No. Lithium batteries or something like that. Anyway, good support, higher lows, massive walls above. If somebody wants to try to swing it from here to here, okay. But you should know that there are sellers of 2650 and they're strong. LI, why? Why are we bothering with these tickers? If you're invested in it, that's fine. The P&L looks great, but so did BABA. So I don't know what the fudge is going on in China. So be careful trading just fundamentals. So this is a rally going into a prior pivot. Look how important this pivot is. It's not going to be easy recovering out of 20, technically speaking. So be careful. Lilly, not a point of entry. I'll move on. Lockheed Martin, not a point of entry. In fact, I said to short it up there and vulnerable. They bounced. I bet you they come back and lose this and finish my vulnerable arrow. So if I'm going to trade it here, I would sell a call spread. I like the company. I just don't like the price action. LNG, There might be something tomorrow with LNG. I don't know. I don't know anything about the sector. Technically, this chart doesn't inspire confidence. It has an opportunity to spike to 174, but there are sellers right here and sellers at 176. So it's kind of stuck in the middle of a range. What is this? Livent. Whatever this is has support. And has resistance at 30.5. So be careful with that. Okay. Lulu. I don't trade Lulu via options. Very choppy. I wouldn't suggest you do either. And speaking of choppy, you can't do anything with this chart. You have a gaping double. Almost, wow, check this out. So look at this. Here I am, a car. Ooh, let's avoid ticks. I didn't touch anything. What? This zone is a crap zone for this stock. Better long here. And even then, this is your support. And this looks like death arrows up here. So be careful. Yeah. That is rare. I've seen scenarios like that before. Macy's, avoid. In fact, I'm a baby wolf wave practitioner, and it says lower for Macy's, like a lot lower. So a dip to here maybe, or here, 18 or 19, I forgot. So if I think it's going lower, even though my conviction is very low, it's reason enough for me not to expect upside and book my profits. I'm not saying go short it. I'm just saying don't go long it. Mara, if you're trading this to trade Bitcoin, stop already. Study the company, and there's no reason on the planet for me to trade into this environment. I don't know anything about the company, and this P&L like this makes me ask questions. So why are you going Mara? Are you trading Mara? If you're trading Mara, okay, that's something different. Sadly, you have no support for months on back. Therefore, it's in free fall. You have to go on hunches. Melly, good support. I would rather it dip towards 913. I think it can go to 875, 880 in the next couple of months. You know, it's bleeding up, but look at this mess up here. So it's not inspiring new longs from here. MGA, I would exit my longs. That's plain and simple. If you're thinking of going long MGA up here, I think you're making a mistake. Triple M in a pivotal zone. I don't like this. So it has support in several places where it's at, just below and just below that. So if it gets down to 117, I would be more inclined to get long. I think it has lawsuits. That's why it collapsed like that. So be careful for you to track it. Okay, Mo, no reason to get started here. It's going into resistance, and it's probably going to come back to 43. If it doesn't hold this, it will come back down to 42 and 41.5. I know nothing about that company except that it pays 9%. Wow. And what's their income statement? Flat as a pancake. So this is literally a dying business, and I mean that literally. I'm surprised to see people now pick up smoking anew. Like people who are stuck smoking, I get it. But people that are starting to smoke now, I just don't get it. Mosaic, you lose this one, I don't know where it's going to go. And a lot of resistance. So it's not an easy trade here. You're going to have to study the company. This is a daily. Oh, okay, I remember that. Ha. So when people were chasing them, I drew these lines. These 3 lines. I said, know what you're taking. I think the people that bought it up here are going to be stuck up here for decades. I hope it's none of you. MP. Technically, you do have buyers here, but I like it better at 30 or 30.50. I don't think this is easy. And that's definitely a wall for now. Trigger eventually, but now it's a wall. Almost the same comments here. On a dip, it looks better. MPW. Fill this gap, maybe. Part of it. 11.8 or lower would be much more attractive. And 1280 looks like very difficult. 13 area. You guys with these tickers. Why are we going down the escargot chain? We have much better tickers to trade and invest in. This is okay at a base, but if you lose last week's low or the one before it, you're going down to here. This is a lot of sellers waiting. If it gets up to here, do not get long from a trading perspective. It doesn't look good. Merck, definitely not an obvious point of entry. Good price action. Moderna, good price action, and it's most definitely not an obvious price. In fact, if I'm long, I should book and trim and re-engage at 200, because if it can clear 200, maybe it gets another 40, 50 bucks out of it. So if you're long, trim and leave runners, as they say. This is an extremely pivotal spot, but it will be a nice catalyst higher. But this doesn't inspire confidence. At least dip once before you do that. Marvel, I think it can rally a lot based on the Wolf Wave as an investment. I will do more homework and share it. If I'm an investor in Marvel, I could risk some money. However, it hasn't worked. So if I'm an investor already, I would not risk money. You see what I mean? Look, every rally, I did say stop out like a decade ago up here. And look how pivotal that line has been. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to dip it. It was just above there. Rinse and repeat, pivotal, right? So every effort to base has failed. Every effort to base has failed. This effort could fail. So this is a sign 1 of failure. This is definitely sign 2 of failure. And if this is failed, I would get out because they're probably going to get to 31. Versus taking this out can get us to here and here and here. So either on a dip and then break out. I like it as a speculative long trade, not investment ad. Never heard of this. Regardless, this is not an obvious point of entry. Wait for a dip towards 21 or 20.5. That would be better. NCLH, well, I'm short. Something else. RCL. That's my dog in the background, scaring the neighbors. So this has not transpired yet. But if they lose this, this is the outcome. I sure would hope it happens, because then it's better for the longs of this stock. Look at this crappy base they did. Also, check it out. Luis, you said rare. This shouldn't happen. That's garbage price action. They need to come back into this area and just fill it up. They need to fill up this area too, as far as volume perspective. So I would not be surprised to see happen. The way I shorted the RCL, I just bought puts. They went red, they went green, and I think now they're flattish red. Net, no touch. You're stuck in the middle of the range. Gaps above, gaps below. It's a madhouse. If you're investing, I wouldn't touch it. Netflix. I want to be short Netflix on rallies. So it has reasons to come up to 315. If it takes out 315, it continues up into that gaping hole up there. But it's better for it to come back down to 255, 250. If it loses 250, it comes back to 215 and lower. I think this path is still available, albeit from a higher perspective. So I'm going to leave it down there. I think there's a chance, not a good chance, there's a chance they're going to crash into earnings next time. We'll see. I think the earnings growth story was luck, not design. And I think he's going to fail into appeasing Wall Street on the next report. We'll see. NIO. I don't mind the company. I mind where it works in China. This is a catalyst to get you to 15. Single digits, that was worth the effort if somebody bought it. I don't know why there's a gap down there. Anyway, and losing this, I think it goes to 7. It shouldn't on its fundamentals, but who cares why it could. It's going back into pivotal zones that were support, like old comments. So Nike, I went long on this debacle and I shared it. I'm not going long here. On a dip back down to here, I don't know why my dog is outside and barking at people. I would repeat. So no reason to do anything with Nike except enjoy the win we delivered. ServiceNow, I wouldn't touch it. There's a lot at stake. What is this? A small hiccup will bring it to 360. Now, if they can by any chance take this out, they could, go to 450, 460. It doesn't look that easy. So it will need the market's help. And the bears are in charge. They're selling rallies, rally, 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 rally. They're trying to base. They tried that before and it failed miserably. Okay, now you see, this is a daily chart. Look, floor, wall, wall, right? Floor, wall. It will be a catalyst. I think this one. But not before they fill this one, I think. And this effort failed, and this effort failed. Will this effort fail? If so, then they'll be under 320. Don't be surprised. So I'm acknowledging both potentials. This is ridiculous to keep on here. Okay, this is not ridiculous. I'll just move it forward. Oh, we did a credit call spread and a credit put spread. Interesting. Okay, so we won on this one. NVIDIA, what did they do? That's way too much. It has support from a trend perspective. Good high or low trend. This will be the catalyst to get you to 200. This is a very significant line. This is a very significant line. Buy the dip failed. Resistance. This is just straight up resistance. Be careful getting long. Credit put spread when it comes down to here, yeah, I'll do that. Buying calls and hoping, not my thing. Okay, now new video. Stopping the recording.
All right, folks. So we've gone through quite a lot of stocks here. Basically, just giving you a little touch of what these Sunday sessions are all about. As you can see, well, number one, congratulations if you were able to sit down through all those stocks. That sort of activity, right? These sort of activities will help you become a better trader, right? Because there's so much that is covered during these sessions, everything from technicals, fundamentals, micro, macro, industry sector analysis. There's a lot that goes into this. I could give you like 100 bullet points of things that, important things that you've gone over this session. But overall, it's really important to sit through these because you're able not only to scan the markets, but you're able to do it with a mentor, an instructor, somebody like Nic Chahine, that's a professional trader, professional options trader that has helped thousands and thousands of other traders just like you. So if you haven't seen the results that you're looking for in your trading, you're not the only one, okay? And that's why all these traders join, especially if they're new, right? They join the room with Nic, and there's no reason why this can't benefit you, right? It's sometimes you get the feeling maybe where it's like, hey, like, why is it that every time I buy a stock, it goes down? The answer to that is, you need a little bit of help with the technicals, maybe, and analyzing charts. And that's what Nic does the entire day. So there's a lot of things that, especially when you're new, there's so many mistakes you can make. There's a million ways to lose money if you don't know what you're doing. And really, that's why it's important to start with the right base. Start with the right instructor, somebody that can walk you through trades, step by step, ABCs, everything, right? So if you're new and you're trying to learn, many times you won't even know where to start. And you might, you're probably going to start somewhere and then you're going to miss and skip a lot of things that you don't even know because you don't know what you don't know, right? So that's why it's important to really start with a group, especially a group like, the one that we have here, the live room with Nic. It's the best options chat room in the world. There's no other best chat rooms than this one. This chat room we have, it's proprietary. It's Benzinga technology. And also the 20 trade alerts that you'll be getting a month, you can follow up with Nic on each and every one of those trades, right? Is this trade still good? What do I do in this case? So you can always have that immediate feedback, okay? Immediate feedback. There's nothing better than having immediate feedback, right? Because that way, you're going to see that the real value of the market, for some reason, crashes or rips higher. You want to know how you can take advantage of that in the same day if you have the opportunity, or how do you adjust the trades that you have, right? So it's very important, folks, to really kind of get that knowledge, right? Knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is money, basically, right? So, because especially when you make mistakes and you didn't know, and many times you might not even know why you made that mistake or the mistake that you made. But making mistakes is good. The only thing that's not good is when you do it with real money, right? Because many times traders end up learning by blowing up their accounts or making bad trades. And you can only take so many hits, right? Your account can only take so many hits. And the goal of this, right, is to make you a better trader, to make you a more successful trader. Will you have losses? Yes, everybody has losses. But the whole point of it is that you have more winners and that your winners outperform your losers, because everybody has losers. Nobody has 100%. You know what I mean? So it's important to, number one, realize that so that you learn risk management. And we have many videos specifically for that, right? As a matter of fact, let me just show you some of these. And all the Inner Circle members will have access to this. Let me just show you really quick here before we do wrap up. We've been here for 3 hours, 4 hours almost on a Sunday. So I appreciate you guys being here also. Okay, so these are some of the educational videos. What are options? What are puts? What's a spread? Call options, credit put spreads, when and how to book profits, when to book or set a stop loss, how to pick the type of trade, what type of trade is best. And each and every one of those videos, these are extremely helpful. This is like a starter kit, right? I think all you guys should go over it, especially the members. Please make sure to go through this. And just remember that tomorrow we'll be there starting at 8 a.m. We're going to have the live stream there. So just make sure that you're accessing the live room with Nick, all the members. And if you have questions, my contact there is in the chat. Big shout out to all you guys. Thanks a lot for being here. Let's go. It's on a Sunday. All right, folks, that does it here for the day. Thanks a lot for being here. I will see you guys in the chat room. Just make sure to be there early. We got a lot to cover. The markets are going to be wild Monday, and we want to profit from the volatility, right? So if you're day trading, scalping, swing trading, long-term, whatever it is that you're doing, there's a place for you in this room, okay? So make sure to sign up, and if you have questions, reach out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great weekend.